was the Group 3 Missile Stakes. Spark of Life was sent out a very short-priced favourite on the strength of its terrific trial win the other day. And there it is in front, as expected, and here's what happened over the closing stages.
An absolute Corral Boy straightening up, and Spark of Life at the 370. He kicks again, 2 lengths on Hipwell, followed by Impaler, and then comes into the night on the outside, down to the 200 mark around the hot pot. Spark of Life, he's about 2.5 lengths into the night, followed by Dane Shadow getting homeward along the rail, but it's all Spark of Life. He's racing right away now and justifies his short quotes. A breeze for Spark of Life and the Missile from Into the Night.
Yes, well, in the last campaign he put 2 together. And
as a rating special, Charge Forward, Fastnet Rock and Savabil 1, 2, 3 and 4. Fastnet Rock would probably lay claim to one of the best maidens in Australia. Very good horse, but he hadn't.
This is the order running to the quarter. Munce allowing Dance Hero a little bit more rain, and he's easing Dance Hero about 5-6 horses away from the inside rail. He straightens up a length to 3 parts of a length on Fastnet Rock, running a big race. A length and a half to Charge Forward, and the other pair are beaten off. Dance Hero, the leader, coming to the 220. Shakes him along, Chris Munce. He's 3/4 Fastnet Rock, running a mighty event, and so's Charge Forward. Here's Beatman on Charge Forward after Fastnet Rock and Dance Hero. It's Charge Forward and Fastnet Rock coming away to fight it out. Fastnet Rock looks as though it's nailed Charge Forward. It could go the other way. It's very close. Number 2 has got it. Boy, I'm just looking at the finish links here. Oh, boy, oh, boy. It is an absolute 16th of an inch. Number 2 has got there.
Nice return over
from, didn't you?
It was a bit of a race, wasn't it? Look, I think the damage was...
Rating special. It's an event worth just under 150,000 in prize money. 1 a special over 8 Elton John. Goes 1 Massendora special over 3, 5 and 7.
Blinks or flanks away. Chock full of action. The Premier as they round the corner. The hot pot. Spark of Life is the leader, and this brilliant speedster straightens up, and at the 350 leads to Chester County. Century Kid to Sumai, followed by Into the Night, and then for Valor. Forget about the 3-year-olds Elton John and Outback Prince, but Spark of Life, he's in full flight down past the 150. Spark of Life 2 Into the Night, then Century Kid, but he's a great horse. Spark of Life toys with him in the Premier. 2nd Into the Night, and 3rd Century Kid, and 4th Chester County, then Elton John.
Spark of Life.
What a great horse. Yeah. He's just a super horse. I sort of saw him in his first race.
Everyone had him down as a wet track, only a wet tracker. But he's just a great sprinter. He makes his own luck with sheer speed.
And Ron, looking at... was first past the post in the San Domenico Stakes. It was a very tricky finish. Charge Forward was the winner, of course. Dance Hero's...
given a little more rain, and he quickens up now. Dance Hero 3/4 Fastnet Rock, and a couple of lengths Public Opinion. Dane Shadow last. Straightening up, Dance Hero just the leader. Fastnet Rock, Australia's best maiden. Is he going to break it today? He might. Fastnet Rock put paid to Dance Hero very swiftly. Oh, he's going great guns. Fastnet Rock is streaking away from Dance Hero. Dane Shadow and Public Opinion will cut the favourite out of a place, but Fastnet Rock, a brilliant win in the up and coming. Dane Shadow 2nd, Public Opinion 3rd, Dance Hero stopped to a walk 4th and last.
Shadow, Public Opinion, and of course Dance Hero in place. We'll talk about that in a moment. Glenn, when you were on the show with us about 3 or 4 weeks ago, you said this horse was something special. It is, isn't it?
Since I've just, you know, I honestly believe that he'll be the most dominant 3-year-old colt throughout the spring, and you know, he's certainly...
And so assertive. 8, 5, 9 and 2. He's with Wayne.
Guy, the Warwick Station got 3
and a half, ain't seen nothing. A length and 3/4 Private Steer, getting a little closer now. Corral Boy hard at it, then Braylock, followed by Niello's set up. Wild Iris Strasbourg and Zingamer's last. They head around the home corner, and so assertive, the leader from the word go, straightens up a length and a half. Private Steer given full bore now by Glenn Boss, and as they race past the 200 marker, Private Steer ambled up to so assertive, headed it off, and away goes Private Steer. What a mighty return by this magnificent mare. Private Steer bolts in from so assertive Niello, and then Corral Boy, Wild Iris made ground from Ain't Seen Nothing, up and absolute Braylock, and how good is she? Ah, boy.
Started to get warm late too, but yeah, you can't take anything away from the win. It was a good top win, but it should have won like that, but you know, against that opposition.
That was her race. You know, she was entitled to beat this field the way she did. So
Very, very good.
Tani Girl, Golden Pedigree and Laura's Charm, 1, 5, 8 and 4. She's a great filly, but she's not the favourite at this stage. Alinghi, she's 70. That's for the fourth at Caulfield, the Quezette Stakes, and it's due in about 50.
Alinghi second last up towards the turn, and Lady of the Desert last of all. Up to the bend they race at the 500 metre mark. Ballet Society deep on the course, a neck in front of Tani Girl. 1 length Dawn Almighty, Grandma Gertie, 2 to Glasnost, Courtney's Cuddles, Miss Draw Card. They were followed by then Laura's Charm along the inside. Alinghi still second last. Tani Girl takes the lead at the top of the straight now. Tani Girl leading narrowly from Ballet Society, running a big race. Grandma Gertie switching over towards the inside, and the Lady of the Desert, Laura's Charmer along the rail. 150 metres left to go. Alinghi storming home, but is it too late? Grandma Gertie and Tani Girl. Alinghi is swapping them. What a filly, what a comeback. Alinghi grabbed Grandma Gertie right on the line. That is a magnificent victory. The Lady of the Desert switching over towards the inside, and the Lady of the Desert, Laura's Charmer along the rail. 150 metres left to go. Alinghi storming home, but is it too late? Grandma Gertie and Tani Girl. Alinghi is swapping them. What a filly, what a comeback. Alinghi grabbed Grandma Gertie right on the line. That is a magnificent victory. The Lady of the Desert or Tani Girl have got the third, and they were followed there. A stunning return. What a win that is. That is as exciting as they come. Number 1, Alinghi, Damien Oliver.
Be betting Alinghi on the home turn.
Oh, probably 8 or 9 to 1.
8 or 9 easily. Well, this is... Yeah, if you haven't seen it, you've got to see it to believe it. Sort of missed the kick slide.
I thought, oh, this is just going to be a magnificent run. It'll wind up 3rd or 4th, and it'll be the run of the day. And you know, then she swallows them up, and it's all over 50 metres out. You know, she's just a great horse.
Just I think I've seen a horse accelerate like that. Shannon, it was quite amazing in Alinghi's performance. Not only did she miss as
a top win, but she'll get a nice bath by Wildly if they ever meet.
Who? Oh, really?
Well,
Wildly?
Not, yeah.
What, is Wildly a better horse than Alinghi?
I'm telling you, it is.
And Alfred.
Okay.
And we've got La Zagaletta coming in as the top rater. Super Elegant, Elvstrom and Amtrak. Paul Booth, one of the outsiders, number 11. Now with these final tips for the Liston.
The JJ Liston Stakes, the fin last, and last on the outside is Zasman. Regal Roller, the leader from Super Elegant, coming around the home turn, 2 lengths to Amtrak, and they're followed then by Roll On Royce as they swing around the turn, and then came La Zagaletta. Regal Roller stays on the fence. Super Elegant comes out wide looking for the better ground. Amtrak and La Zagaletta are coming home. Regal Roller shot away though, and he put 4 lengths on Super Elegant, Amtrak, and then came La Zagaletta. But look at Regal Roller go. He's racing away to win the JJ Liston by about 4 lengths. Amtrak is second, La Zagaletta third, Super Elegant a weakening fourth. Then came Elvstrom on the outside running another good race, followed by Hard to Get, and left them standing when he accelerated Regal Roller. A great...
New Zealand, the Mudgeway Stakes. It is race number 9. Starcraft, the top rater. Irish Rover, Sedecrum. We've got the big Group 1 from New Zealand, only 5 minutes away.
Cedar Manor getting a card into the race. Irish Rover one off. Sedecrum the inside. Starcraft looking to get out and around. Runners held in a pocket by Penny Gem. King's Chapel, Ben Sparta behind them. Belmuse, Kainui Bell, and then Surprised, and Lashed was last as they turn in the Mudgeway. Miss Potential against the inside. She found a bit. Kalamata on the outside trying to get on terms for Katie Hercock. Miss Potential is fighting for all she is worth. Now Kalamata the outside, Starcraft, he's about to fly the last settlement, Miss Potential, Starcraft is absolutely flying, amazing performance, Starcraft has got it from on the outside, trying to get on terms for Katie Hercock, Miss Potential is fighting for all she is worth, now Kalamata the outside, Starcraft, he's about to fly the last settlement, Miss Potential, Starcraft is absolutely flying, amazing performance, Starcraft has got it from Miss Potential, and then I think Kalamata Rosina lad behind them, unbelievable, he couldn't win, he got up from the dead to win. Miss Potential had them all shot to bits halfway down. And then Lethanus has let this monstrous chestnut let down the last little bit, and boy, has he picked them up. And
Gary Newham, quite breathtaking indeed. And
there wasn't a whole lot of pace up front. She wasn't really pressured in the lead. And when you were on the corner, you're in about 8th place, and you had to shoulder Penny Gem out of the way. I'd basically given up on your winning then, but gee, reeled off a final sectional, Paul. Is Glenn now? Do you still rate him the next Phar Lap?
Oh, mate, I didn't rate him that. I just think he's when I saw him when he's Class 3 in Doomben, up in Brisbane, I just thought he just reminded me of Burnborough, and I just thought to myself, can I think anything like that? You know, being in racing all my life.
Well, we're watching him here now. This is one of the shortest straights in racing. It's only 380 metres long. So this finish is unbelievable, isn't it?
Stakes weight for age contest. Regal Roller and Star of Gretchen are equal top raters from Special Harmony and Fields of Omar, 2, 12, 10 and 1. The report from the Lee Friedman stable is Special Harmony might just need a run or two to hit her straps. However, her class might just get her through. And Special Harmony is correct weighted Eagle.
Cup winner whipped the field in. Up towards the turn. Regal Roller doesn't get his own way. He's only a neck clear to vocabulary. Del Zayo's done it hard. He's scrubbed up third, and then Kempinski. Special Harmony pulling to the outside, and then came Speedy King. They corner now. Regal Roller has that kick, and he moves away by a length and a half. Vocabulary under the whip. Then Del Zayo, Speedy King. Pacific Dancer down the outside. Special Harmony battling in Fields of Omar deep out, but Regal Roller again, he shot away from them. Pacific Dancer, Del Zayo are finishing fairly well, but it's all Regal Roller, and he won well. Regal Roller by 3 lengths. Pacific Dancer. Del Zayo grabs third. Makybe Diva a beauty along the inside. Fields of Omar ran on well. Then Speedy King. They were followed further back by
Clinton McDonald, the trainer there. Pacific Dancer, much improved horse. He really did run home well. In third with Makybe Diva sort of rattling home along the rails in fourth. I think it's a pretty high quality race, this. I think a lot of these horses that have finished behind Regal Roller are a bit lacking in fitness, and there's going to be some big improvers. What do you think, boys?
It's one. Sydney's on the way. The Roman Consul Stakes, Charge Forward, Fastnet Rock, Starcat and Golden. Not far away now from the Roman Consul. Charged forwards.
Ground and picket fence on the rails is last. They're homeward bound. And Starcat straightens up a half length on Golden Fox. And Fastnet Rock being wound up, and on his outside is Charge Forward. Fastnet Rock accelerates now. At the 200 he dashed to the lead. What can Charge Forward do? He's making no impression on Fastnet Rock. And this terrific colt from Newcastle streaks away from Charge Forward. Another big win to Fastnet Rock. Second, Charge Forward, Starcat. Third, picket fence the rails, Golden Fox. And oh boy, how good is this fella? He has absolutely beaten them on his ear.
20, and next best is Shoot number 4 at 470. So the first one is moving in.
Side, and then Kalinin and Grad and the orange silk gets up on the inside as they swing the corner from Tippy Taka. Calorific pulls out very wide. Schutz over on the fence, nowhere to go at the moment. And then came Gator and Cowboy Bar. Well in the straight, Grandma Gertie by a length to Lady of the Desert. A length and a half away, Heavenly Pun. Schutz trying to get over its heels. Kalinin Grad over on the fence, and wider out as Gator at the 200 metre mark. Grandma Gertie in front. Lady of the Desert throws it down to her now. Lady of the Desert moved up to Grandma Gertie. Shoot 2 lengths away, running on hard. But Lady of the Desert broke clear near the line, and Lady of the Desert got home from Shoot, who ran on strongly. A very good run second. Grandma Gertie is third, and just behind them then were Gator and Heavenly Pun. They got...
And correct weight is there. Lady. But the first of them, the Ascot Vale Stakes. And Wildly is a rating special from Alengi, Elton John and Barely...
Happy with him. We got the...
late rally there for Gerald Ryan's horse that we just heard about.
Ceres against the inside, and Barely a Moment is last. At the 500 metre mark now, and Atapi on the outside, and Tirade the leaders from San Zero deep out. And Alengi within 2 lengths of the leaders is going strongly. They're trailed by Wildly, who's under pressure, but Oliver hasn't moved yet on Alengi, and she's straight up to the stablemate San Zero. Tirade battling away on the inside of those horses. And further back One World, but Alengi is coasting down past the 100 metre mark, and she shot 2 or 3 in front. Look at this dazzling filly go. Alengi one of these up. Barely a Moment 3 lengths away second. Tirade is third, and San Zero's run fourth from Star Shiraz. Win races like that, do they? Big races like that? Winning in a hand canter? Come on. Winning in a hand canter? Come on. She is outstanding. number 7, Alingi.
From Corbett.
Well, man, good to see you. The wild mushrooms out of the system, are they?
We're just wild about our man here, Michael Fraser.
Morning, my friend.
Well done.
Morning, all.
That was the call.
You haven't been introduced yet. Just wait your turn.
No, I'll come back to you.
I'm here to cop it. I'm here to cop it. Yeah,
This is... these are the emails that have come in actually about Michael Fraser. Just a few of them. I'm going to read a couple off the top of the show too.
And San Zero's run fourth from...
The track gallop, mate. She just ran out of companions. It was probably her easiest win to date. You know, up with the best of them, like you know, Testarossa and Scalacci and Valvulon. You know, she's a serious horse.
It's just old Scott. Hey,
come on. Hey. He's been smoking the Randwick turf.
Big one, the Group 1 Manicato on the way. Spark of Life, Yell, Dilly Dally and Monaghan.
We speak Spark of Life. It's going to start the favourite. Second pick is Yell for the Group 1.
Truglow ridden along. At the 500 metres, they come before the home turn. Spark of Life a length, Mystagic Lethal Lee. Yell following the leader on the fence, nowhere to go at the moment, and then came Dilly Dally, followed by Monaghan Tweed. Spark of Life by a length coming around the turn. Yell gets up on the rails to go to second. Then Mystagic Lethal Lee and Dilly Dally. Now as they swing for home, Spark of Life's been given his head. He leads by 2 lengths to Yell and 3 lengths to Dilly Dally. Spark of Life in front. He's had to go for the whip on him, Nikolic. He's a length and a half in front of Yell. Spark of Life in front of Yell and Dilly Dally. Spark of Life too good for them, too speedy and led all the way. Spark of Life beat Yell by a length and a quarter. Dilly Dally third, and then Danabar, and they were followed in then by Zip Zip Array. Truglow made a little ground.
Where do you go from there? Is this the end of the prep, or have you got another race in mind?
No, he's on the paddock. He's beyond the float in an hour.
Okay, Sydney Autumn is where you target it. Do you want to travel him overseas?
Over 1600. Special Harmony is the rating special. She's Archie, My Fraulein, and more on the stock stakes at Moonee Valley, this time with jockey Michael Walker. He's riding number...
And She's a Nightmare in the middle. Zumanity moved up into fourth, and Annie Levy striding home boldly out wide in the white colours, and She's Archie's got onto her back. Special Harmony's been headed by Annie Levy, but She's Archie is mowing Annie Levy down, and around the home turn she dashed to the lead, and the Melbourne Cup runner-up racing away. It's She's Archie by 3 lengths now from Annie Levy, and then came in third placing Zumanity, but She's Archie, she's back. She won it by 3. Annie Levy is second, Zumanity is third. Mutate a good run next, and so too has Upset Them coming home well. Next Monda Special. Since winning the Oaks in South Australia, she's had so many things go wrong, but that was simply outstanding. Here's a mare who's probably lucky.
Now, Moonee Valley Race 8, the ratings, and La Zagaletta in the Fian, along with Maccabi Diva, the top 2 from Fields of Omar and Del Zayo. Del Zayo on 3.50, and Maccabi Diva is $8.20. Eagle Farm. Okay, Stephen King is on Del Zayo, the favourite for...
Blitz to the turn. La Zagaletta takes a half-length lead over Speedy King. Del Zayo is ridden along, but he's coming home well on the mare. Maccabi Diva is sweeping up wide on the course, and then Fields of Omar, followed by Under the Bridge, and further back is Irish Crusader. Around the turn, Del Zayo and Maccabi Diva. They've raced to the lead together, clear of La Zagaletta and Fields of Omar, and then Studebaker. Maccabi Diva about a head in front of Del Zayo. Maccabi Diva and Del Zayo race tight together. Del Zayo kicks strongly. He's going home the better, and Del Zayo 1 1/2 head Maccabi Diva. 3 lengths away third, Studebaker. Great run in front of Fields of Omar, and back behind him to finish them was Under the Bridge, La Zagaletta. A long break.
10 and 4 after the Fian. The trifecta paid 193. And it's
on the beat. Maccabi Diva, well, this second placing yesterday took her prize money above $4 million. She's now joint favourite for the Melbourne Cup with She's Archie. Lee Friedman saying that the big run at the Valley yesterday won't tempt him to think about the Cox Plate. He's committed to a Cups campaign with the mare, but she's...
Potential and Irish Rover, 9, 6, 12 and 3. pretty speedy filly. And over in New Zealand, he's paying $1.20. The Kiwis are giving their very speedy mare Miss Potential a bit of a show there at $9.04.
Stonybridge as they run to the home corner. Miss Potential, Irish Rover trying to get on terms. Elendal comes around them 3 wide. Distinctly Secret behind them is Starcraft. He's starting to run home well and lashed us out a little bit deeper. He said go to Starcraft and he went quickly to Miss Potential, who finds a bit on the inside. She's coming back. Miss Potential. Starcraft is going to have to call on all his great qualities, and there are many of them. He's lifting Starcraft. He'll win. Starcraft in it. Miss Potential second, and third. Irish Rover all on the outside. Flying home was lashed. Distinctly $1.35. Will just want a minute to compose themselves. And Irish Rover between them. Glenn Boss had to...
Because it's such a tough mile, I think you really want to be really 100%.
Pace is slackened. Then Lad of the Manor. Johns has tried to steady him down before the turn. He leads by a half length. Duke Bongalonga. 2 lengths to Pink Fit, Volronimo, and then Mythological and Harley Mar together. Then came Mr. Magoo getting away from the rails within 3 lengths of the leader. He's launching his run down the outside. Lad of the Manor into the straight ahead of Pink Fit. Mr. Magoo starting to run on down the outside, and Great as threaded his way through the field and is coming hard. Lad of the Manor headed by Pink Fit. Great as Greater danger. 100 to go now. Great as Great moved up, took the lead from Pink Fit. Great as Great drawing away in the run home. That's the real Great as Great. He won by a little over a length to Pink Fit. Third placing Lad of the Manor. Jackaday worked home well for fourth. A gap Labouche on. Life's a Bounty, Harley Mars.
It was Great as Great. Luke Nolan, 10-10-350 over Pink Fit.
Race time 1:24 point flying for favouritism. Regal Roller tops the Sky ratings from Balingi. Our Egyptian Rain and Yell 4. And putting them in market order. Second pick on course, Regal Roller. It's Value the Toad. And
after Scaredy Cat, Tenacious Spirit. Alingi's out 3 wide. 2 lengths away is Reactive, Our Egyptian Rain, and Titanic Jack on the rails, followed by Dilly Dally, Face Value, and Sarah V to the turn. And Regal Roller by 3/4 of a length to Yell. 2 lengths to Charge Forward, Charming City. Alingi 4 lengths from the leader, peeling to the outside. Then Tenacious Spirit. Regal Roller's full of running. He rails beautifully, kicks away by 2 lengths. Yell second. Alingi given full bore down the outside from Charge Forward, and then Our Egyptian Rain, but Regal Roller is well clear. He's 4 lengths in front now. Alingi and Our Egyptian Rain are finishing very hard. Regal Roller pinched a break on them at the turn now, and he wins the Group 1. Regal Roller first, by a length and a quarter. Our Egyptian Rain, Alingi third. Then came Tenacious Spirit, being trailed by Titanic Jack. Charge for Delhi, and Reactive is last in the Dubai Racing Club Cup. Regal Roller for Mark Flaherty, his biggest success. And for Clinton McDonald, his first Group 1-2, following in a family tradition. Regal Roller, showing all of his dash that we've seen of him with these wonderful performances at Caulfield at the 1400 metres here. And it was just a carbon copy of what he's been doing to lesser fields. Railing.
Best from Roman Arch, Northerly and Pentastic. 11, 7, 1 and 3. A stack of chances in this race. If you fancy number 10, Elvstrom, it's an equal 4th rater. And then just behind, very good overs compared to the on-course price. Elvstrom's in the market. Del Zao is the on-course second pick behind.
Here with number 11, Del Zao. He gets his chance to go back-to-back at weight for age.
They come to the turn, and well back as Hugs Dancer, Zasmine being followed then by Roman Arch, and back last of all is Zagalia at the bend. She's Arch, he's coming with a monster of a run and goes up and joins and heads Elvstrom, and she's dashed to the front now. Northerly back about 6th, he's under the whip. Del Zao's running on fairly, She's Archie in front. Elvstrom is coming back. Elvstrom kicking back on the inside. She's Archie and Elvstrom well clear to Del Zao. Elvstrom fights back. He's hit the front again. Elvstrom draws away, and Elvstrom beats She's Archie a length and a quarter. Del Zao 2 lengths away third. Then Zagalia and Wild Iris both ran on well. So did Hugs Dancer. Next Roman Arch, followed further back by Grey Song, Mummify, and then Northerly. He was followed in by Pent.
And Elfstrom beating She's Archie Delzo. The race time, a real neat 1.
Fear tops the ratings ahead of Prisoner of Love, Covertly and Head for extra ground, and she gets up to the 6. It's the Group 1 flight stakes for 3-year-old fillies. Joining me now.
Well, it's Lotteria coming back to Audacious Amber, leading at 2 lengths at the 600 marker. Hairpin the inside and Prisoner of Love is next. A length and a half Cincinnati Gal. La Vienne Rose succeeding from Covertly, and the roughie is Absolute Piccolo around the corner in the flight stakes. And it's Lotteria first for home. She's about 2 lengths clear on Hairpin. Now Bowman calling upon Prisoner of Love, but Lotteria's got a pretty handy break, and down to the 250 it's Lotteria 3 lengths clear on Hairpin. Prisoner of Love is not making any ground on Lotteria, and then Cincinnati Gal, but it's Lotteria increasing her lead. 100 to go. She's got to make it 4 out of 4 by taking the flight stakes. Cincinnati Gal and Covertly getting home late, but a breeze to Lotteria. Lotteria walked in. Cincinnati Gal second. Covertly has run third. 4 for an hour. Lotteria by Redout's Choice from Rose Reward straight to the front. And that was the end of the penny second.
What a fantastic win. The filly she was winning this race today, and not just winning it, absolutely annihilating the best fillies we have in New South Wales.
Congratulations, Gay.
And genuinely is in the late mail. 9 ahead of...
You're going to have a mighty clash.
Are they what?
It's going to be a beauty. Before, I know that some of the press will jump on and say this filly's the next Sunline, and she might be, but you've got to put it in perspective. Those fillies behind her, other than Covertly, wouldn't run 1,600 metres down a mine shaft. They were walking the last 100 metres.
You did beat them 7 lengths though, Rich.
I know, I'm
7
saying.
lengths, mate,
this is the sign of a very good filly.
You had to be a
Prisoner of Love and those horses, they'd run a fair mile.
Can she beat a Lingy?
I think so for sure, but I'm not.
Let me get on a Lingy.
I'm saying she's got the ability. She's got the ability.
Wildly
based on that run.
Don't give it to Wildly.
Run right up to without a doubt.
I think it'll all come down to bias on the day. One's going to be up the front, one's going to be up the back.
He won't even look at me. It's the Wildly rap, isn't it?
No, not at all. No.
Handicap at Group 1 over that famous Randwick Mile. Desert War is the one our ratings are keen on. They've made it a special, purely because of that wet track. There he is there at $7.40 on the New South Wales TAB.
For half-hour Egyptian Rain, Shamika, Lord of the Land, Unearthly, Desert War, on a high from Kablamo, then My Chanticleer, Kingside, Consular and Reclaim. Tasumai's rider's gone for home, and up the rise in the Epsom, Tasumai by 3 lengths. Second Posse, Miss Potential, and now our Egyptian Rain getting clear, going after Tasumai, who's hanging out, and 2 lengths to Desert War, starting to rattle down the outside. Our Egyptian Rain hits the front. Here's the second pick, Desert War, closed in on our Egyptian Rain, put paid to her, and Desert War racing away for a brilliant win in the Epsom. Desert War from our Egyptian Rain and Tasumai, then Kingside, So Assertive, Shamika, Unearthly, Consular, Reclaim.
Weight for age, 2,000 metre target.
Had to win today to get into the Caulfield Cup, yes.
And that is the plan.
That's the plan.
Congratulations, Gay.
I think that's his D-Day. It's weight for age.
Good, but I'm not sure whether he's not a wet tracker. I'll ask Ronnie's opinion on that. He seems to like the soft ground. They absolutely walked the leaders up the straight. They couldn't have gone slower. The sectionals will tell you that something from the back had to roll home and win. He doesn't look like a Caulfield Cup or Melbourne Cup horse to me, but that's only my opinion on Desert War. I think the race will be a pretty poor form race for the rest of the spring.
In Perth at Belmont, a horse by the name of Plastered won the Stayers race. Now, the interesting thing about this is it was his 4th straight win. That's OK. This is against the older horses, and it's coming over for the Derby.
Yeah, look, there might be a new horse on the scene. We're saying there's not much between the 3-year-olds over here. I wonder if we can get a line on this horse by this winner. Harvey looked pretty excited. He doesn't show much emotion. He gives a little flick of the whip here. He might like this horse.
Gee, it won eased down. It could have won by another 3 or 4 lengths. What's that, a 5-length margin? That might be something to beat over here, but...
Looks a real stayer.
Well, I don't think the 3-year-old...
Ratings for the next race here at Flemington, and here comes the tote figures. Paraka, $13 over the leader in this race. And let's have a look at them as we...
Look, it's racing very well. If there was any query...
Around the turn, and Paraka strides to the lead again, ahead of Strike Line back on the inside. Danabar and Niagara Falls are wider at putting in strong runs, and Skewiff is deep out on the course. They were followed as they cornered by Hinting back on the rail with Infinite Grace, and Light Sweeper, and down the outside is Fly For Me with a run. They stretch right across the track where Skewiff wide out, raced up, and she's gone to the lead ahead of Infinite Grace. Strike Line can't go on. Leone Chiara's next, and then Fly For Me, but Skew-If is opening right up. She's racing away from Infinite Grace, and Skew-If comes right away and won by 4 lengths. Infinite Grace is second. Light Sweeper grabs third ahead of Demerger, and then Fly For Me, Leone Chiara.
Especially in the autumn, she's possibly going to be even better than she is now, so looking forward.
But look, I think there's a fairly good race, but look, the winner, I'm not convinced it's that good, believe it or not.
I can't believe how impressive that win was. It was the most dominating win I've seen all day. It was just amazing. It did cover...
The Turnbull Stakes, Group 2 level. The ratings for you. There they are. Elstrom, the 100 Raider, ahead of Makybe Diva, Del Zao and Shiza. Let's have a look at these. Grey Song, big odds. 5, Fantastic Value. Grey Song, big odds. Hugs Dancers, a drifter out.
Song bring up the rear. They've got 700 left to go now, and Zasman has come back to the field quickly. Northerly's got there very early, coming to the 600-metre mark. He doesn't want to go too soon. Flaherty is sitting tight on the outside on the champ. They're followed as they swing the corner by Mummify in third placing. Elfstrom's held up for a run behind the leaders now, and Studebaker puts in, and then Confectioner trying to work clear from Hugs Dancer. At the 400, Zasman got his second wind. Northerly's battling hard under the whip, and Elfstrom got the split now, and the acceleration is there. Elfstrom moved up, Mummify running a big race. Strasbourg is coming home, and then came Confectioner and Hugs Dancer from She's Archie, but Big Elvis at the 100-metre mark has broken away from them. It's Elfstrom in front. Confectioner and Mummify battling strongly, but Elfstrom wins it. Elfstrom first beat Mummify. He's back in form. Confectioner close up on the outside. She's Archie, one of the few to make ground from the back. And then came Hugs Dancer. Strasbourg, Makybe Diva got home. Then trailed North.
Jokingly, this has been a very good go, this lady, Longueville. It's been the best back runner all day, it's fair to say. It's now in...
Won't go on in the preparation. Lee Freedman very happy with Makybe Diva. As you'll see on the replays, ran on very nicely right behind the... Was moving in for the Edward Manifold. Alinghi all the rage to try and give Lee Freedman...
Swing around the turn by Lady of the Desert coming into it wider out from Hollow Bullet. Alinghi is just back behind these horses, but she is badly held up in traffic as they swing the corner, where it's Chalkboard and Star Shiraz from Ballet Society. Getting up behind them now is Alinghi, but she's still just in need of a little bit of luck. Down the outside comes Lady of the Desert. At the 300, Ballet Society hit the lead. Alinghi's got the run. Here's her moment now at the 200, and Alinghi sprinting magnificently went straight past Ballet Society. Then came Astrodame, but the mighty Alinghi strides away. She's a champion filly. Alinghi beat Ballet Society, eased up. Third placing either Kylie Kwong, who's run home well, or Astrodame. Then came Hollow Bullet, followed by Creative Plan. Havega 3, and they're ready, set. Further back is Hurricane Charlie being trailed by 40 Degrees, the Rhine, and then Zubanel Ganubi and Surrenderless was last. After the turn, Lancet getting up on the inside to join Brilliant Lad. 2 lengths to Seed Nazar, and they've kicked away then from Danger Looms, and back behind them Abbey Star and Jiang is just battling away. At the 200 metres, Lancet on the inside, Seed Nazar coming at it, and Danger Looms getting a run. Brilliant Lad dropped out. Seed Nazar's got to the lead with about 100 metres left to go. Look at the Rhine storming home from nowhere. The Rhine is flying in the last stride got there. A brilliant run from the Rhine to get up and beat Seed Nazar and Danger. The 200 metres, Lancet on the inside, Seed Nazar coming at it, and Danger Looms getting a run. Brilliant Lad dropped out. Seed Nazar's got to the lead with about 100 metres left to go. Look at the Rhine storming home from nowhere. The Rhine is flying in the last stride got there. A brilliant run from the Rhine to get up and beat Seed Nazar and Danger Looms. Lancet just wilted slightly for 4th, and Jiang was 5th. Further back in the field then came 40 Degree. It's been a brilliant finishing run.
Although it's not too far away, race number 5, the 1,000 Guineas. Alinghi, Wager, Ballet Society and Kylie Kwong 2, Northwood Plume in 94, and of course last year.
Oliver just urging forward on Alinghi now. She's about 8 lengths from the leader coming up towards the turn, and covertly Ballet Society went to the lead from Glasnost, who's gone. Hollow Bullet's got the 3rd, and Wager's running on. Alinghi still one of the last as they cornered. The favourites in a bit of trouble. It's Ballet Society at the 200 by 2 to Hollow Bullet. Wager's gone. Then Astrodame. Here comes Alinghi now. Hollow Bullet and Ballet Society bumping heavily. Alinghi's launching her run now. Here comes the champ, and she sails away from them. Alinghi way too good, beat Hollow Bullet by 2. Ballet Society holds third from Kylie Kwong. Astrodame and a break to Bullet. Wages gone. Then Astrodame. Here comes Alinghi now. Hollow Bullet and Ballet Society bumping heavily. Alinghi's launching a run now. Here comes the champ. And she sails away from them. Alinghi way too good. Beat Hollow Bullet by 2. Ballet Society holds third from Kylie Kwong. Astrodame and a break to Courtney's. Well, surely she was looking at the chance of being beaten at the home turn, but she has turned what looked to be trouble into a magnificent runaway win in the Group 1 Vinery Stud 1,000 Guineas. An extra.
Don't want to talk about that. You know, she's as good a 3-year-old filly as we had. I always thought that Mahogany was the best 3-year-old we've ever had, but she's freakish like him. You know.
How did you feel? I don't think I've ridden a horse that can put away a race so quickly. You know, she was 6 lengths off him at the top of the straight and had it won within 100 metres.
To the paddock, he thinks he can make the best sprinter in the land out of her next year in the races like the Lightning, the Newmarket, those races.
Sprinter?
Sprinter.
Gee, she hit the line there. I might be...
In the straight, that's not a bad move by Lee. Look, I'm not sure whether she'll actually get any further than the 1600. I'm a little dubious, but I tell you what, knowing as she goes down the straight, she could go on to be a superstar, and I'll continue to wrap it up for all the people that want to bag me and tell me that it wasn't the best 2-year-old in Australia last year.
Exactly. The stakes, the old Caulfield Stakes over 2,000 metres. Grand Army tops the ratings ahead of before they'll be ready to run. Our live coverage of the Yalumba Stakes is brought to you by First Home.
The Natural Blitz. Then King's Chapel, Starcraft second last has got past Devastating. To the turn, St Rems by 3/4 of a length. Grand Army within striking distance, 1.5 to Mummify. King's Chapel is into the clear and he's had to pull to the outside now on Starcraft. Round the turn and it's St Rems grabbed by Grand Army. Mummify gets over their heels. Wider out Starcraft and King's Chapel. Grand Army with 150 to go, the leader. Mummify getting to him with King's Chapel, and Starcraft is trying to level up, but out wide he can't reach them. Mummify got to the lead now from Grand Army. Mummify's ahead in front. Grand Army tries to kick back, but Mummify won it. Mummify a half head to Grand Army. 2 lengths to Starcraft third. He's done very well under the circumstances. And back behind him to finish in the...
Dan Nicklick, 681.70 over Grand Army and Starcraft. 40.
I liked it last start when it won here at...
Deserving of a very good chance here.
His runs at Moonee Valley have been excellent, Andrew, yeah, so he's got to be a chance, I think. Yeah.
Just with the step up, you stayed at the...
And Ruben, 2 lengths to Bless Them as they swing the corner, and then Green Pick and Super Impressive. They swing around the turn now. Diamonds and Chalk, 3 out. Chevergo the middle, and Dandy Kid on the rail. The leaders from Ruben coming at them. Creek Adonis needing a run. Super Impressive's come hard on the inside. He's about to get a split. There's not much room. Ruben got to Chevergo. Here's Bless Them, and down the outside too. Lots of swing. Moved up quickly on the outside. Super Impressive got the run of the fence. Bless Them the middle. They hit the line, and I think Lots of Swing might get it in a close go from either Bless Them or Super Impressive. A 3-way finish. 13 for Blake Shin gets up to win. Bless Them will be second, and Super Impressive.
Weights right at Caulfield, 13,511, $34,630 was the TL. The main event coming up next. The Caulfield Cup is 23 minutes away. Our ratings are with Mummify, Hugs Dancer, Vouvray and Elbstrom. Rates
early go for the Melbourne Cup winner, Makybe Diva. $17 on my board, right into $10. When you consider the amount of money being bet on that race, this race, that is a huge move. Mummify
is in a point. Elbstrom has been a drifter, 370 TAB, but better here at Caulfield. The Grey Song is around $22, similar odds here. Zagalia, there's not really a lot of activity at this stage. Probably Makybe Diva has been the best backed in the last minute or two. Okay, Alf.
Elvis began very fast, Elvstrom, and he's gone to the lead in the early part. Away quick, being followed by Strasbourg and Roman Arch. Makybe Diva upset them, then Distinctly Secret Yakama, and Zagalia is 10 lengths away. Elvstrom comes around the home turn now by a length to Del Zao, hard ridden, running on Winning Bell near the inside, and Hugs Dancer comes with a run. Here comes Makybe Diva around the outside, and the rest are headed by Belmuse. Elvstrom tracking wide into the straight, the leader. Winning Bell cuts the corner. Down the outside comes Makybe Diva. Grey Song is putting in a run. Elvstrom at the 200, the leader from Makybe Diva. Grey Song, Winning Bell, and ain't seen nothing. It's Elvstrom in front. 100 left to go. The danger, Makybe Diva the outside. Elvstrom in front. Makybe Diva's desperately trying hard. Elfstrom hanging on and won the Caulfield Cup. Elfstrom by a head to Makybe Diva. 2 lengths away, Grey Song third. Vouvray ran home for fourth. They're trailed by Winning Bell.
Elfstrom and Nash Rawiller, 371.90 over Makybe Diva and Grey Song. And that
first couple over the line, there weren't too many good Melbourne Cup trials. I wonder what the
Makybe Diva, there's no need to say anything about it. Absolutely awesome. Grey Song.
Upside down.
No, the only horses that can win the Melbourne Cup as far as the Australian horses are concerned, Makybe Diva, the obvious. This Vouvray's run was enormous. Just had to switch course and and then we've got all these invaders we're trying to line up. Your Vinnie Rose, you know, and whatever. We can't line those horses up.
I think the track.
Back to Tarn Princess and Naden, suggesting it's a good Quinella bet. 3 from 6, big gap back to 7 and 2. On course, it's all regimental, Gal. Stand by, protest siren. We expect apprenticeship with the Great Cups King certainly paying dividends.
On the rail, then came Bomber Bill and Last Gala Chief. Regimental Gal did it well coming around the home turn. She's cantering a neck in front of Naden. J Diva going up 3 wide. Dance the Waves follows the favourite from Tarn Princess, and Bomber Bill about to peel 4 wide. Regimental Gal around the turn. Is there much in the tank? Naden's coming at it with J Diva and old Bomber Bill. Bomber Bill is swapping them on the outside. 9 years of age. He raced away from Regimental Gal, and Bomber Bill wins it from Regimental Gal. A length away in third placing, Dance the Waves, then J Diva Naden. You just can never write this old boy off, can you? They don't win Group 2 races at 9 years of age under normal circumstances. He is just an absolute freak.
Starmare Elegant Fashion also well supported.
Melbourne Regal Roller, Elfstrom and Starcraft, 1, 3, 6 and 7. Let's have a look at the market. 27 minutes away now to the big one of the day. Now the Cox Plate counting down 27.
Big money starting to really...
Preparation, a great run in Sydney. I'm not sure what happened.
Last, Regal Roller led the field up the side, nearing the 600 by a half to Miss Potential. Savabeel into the clear. Fields of Omar running on, got to fourth from Our Egyptian Rain. Elegant Fashion hard ridden down on the inside. Paolini comes with a run. Starcraft is working clear, then Grand Army and Elfstrom about 7 lengths from the leader. At the turn, Regal Roller headed by Miss Potential. Savabeel joined in from Fields of Omar. Starcraft just behind them, followed by Elegant Fashion. Savabeel the leader. The 3-year-old in the Cox Plate around the turn in front of Regal Roller. Down the outside, Fields of Omar, and then Starcraft. Savabeel with 100 to go, the leader. Fields of Omar's coming after him, and then Starcraft, but it's Savabeel in front, and it's a 3-year-old's Cox Plate. Savabeel beat Fields of Omar a length. Ahead away, Starcraft third. Grand Army ran on for fourth. Then Delzeo, Elfstrom wider out from Elegant Fashion. Regal Roller.
Which leg? Bred. And a 3-year-old wins for the first time since Octagonal in 1995. You've got to be a champion.
And Chris Muntz, 11.73.50 over Fields of Omar and Starcraft. And the try
was good enough to win the Cox Plate?
No, I didn't think he was good enough to win the Cox Plate. And I have been wrapping the horse all the way through his campaign, but I thought he was out of his depth there, and I, like everybody else, was wrong. Roger was right, and. Madeira old fella, 9 years of age, Bomber Bill, and he's still doing it to those sprinters. And
Vars is a Group 2 level. It's barely a moment from Count Ricardo, Classiconi and Plastered, 1 from 3. Count Ricardo's been kept firm in betting and remains over the tote.
Yes, certainly does. And this
Henkel improving has got into third around the outside, followed by Tackman, barely a moment, and there's Plastered going forward deep on the course, and Count Ricardo and Calorific take off. They're trailed by behind these Denorum, who's dropped out, and then Classiconi and Mr. Martini. They've slowed the tempo mid-stages. Zankel took off early, and he's gone to the lead now. Should has to rally back on the fence. Count Ricardo's got the third under great pressure. Then came running on Plastered and Mr. Martini. Barely a moment lost when they sprinted. Zankel the leader now. Zankel's dashed away from Shoot. Count Ricardo. Here's Mr. Martini running on, and Plastered working home. Zankel the leader. Coming home strongly, Mr. Martini and Plastered in the centre. Mr. Martini and Plastered race away from Zankel. Mr. Martini the outside and Plastered. Plastered coming at Mr. Martini. Mr. Martini, Plastered. Plastered and nose. I think he might have kicked and won it from Mr. Martini. Photos all round though. 4 lengths away, Count Ricardo from
Paul Harvey, 441.80 over Mr. Martini. And
I think it was a very meritorious win. I think this horse can be a force in the Derby. Whether he can beat Savabeel is another thing. They ran a second slower in this event than they did in the Cox Plate, which was only the race before. So there'd been
2 Waterford Crystal Mile, time-honoured race on Cox Plate Day. And the scratching here is number 2, Top. Good enough for today.
I think it is.
Gordo, Jackaday, Lad of the Manor, and Only a Dream 2 lengths away under pressure. At the 600 metres now, Life's a Bounty 1.5 to Sir Dex and Lord Mick. Truglow scrubbed up near the inside from Siesta Bay, Silky Red Boxer. Jackaday commencing a run. This man should held up on the fence from Gordo and Lad of the Manor. At the turn, Life's a Bounty about to be collared by Lord Mick out 3 wide and Sir Dex in the centre. 2 lengths away, Truglow, Siesta Bay and Silky Red Boxer. Entering the straight now, and it's Lord Mick taking the lead from Sir Dex, trying to battle back, and then Silky Red Boxer and Lad of the Manor coming down the outside. Lord Mick in front, Lad of the Manor, look at him pound down the outside, big performance, and Lad of the Manor got up to win by a half a length. Second placing to Lord Mick in front of Sir Dex, and then Silky Red Boxer. This man should follow.
Won brilliantly by Lad of the Manor. 5.20 and 1.90. Brian Johns from Lord.
His classic. Alingi is the top rater from Skewiff, Infinite Grace and Shamika. 16.42.
That Alingi is so short.
Yeah.
You know, things have got to get out just to balance the market up a little bit to about...
Butcher at the moment, $19.
You see, that, to me, that...
Followed then by Just Polite, and then Besame Mucho, and Star of Gretchen was last as the field swings for home, where Miss Potential has the lead narrowly from Shamika the outside. Infinite Grace waits on a run. Linky's held up behind these, in a bound, and Unearthly ahead of her, and so is Heck of a Party inside the 400, and Miss Potential 3/4 clear from Shamika. Ryan's going to the inside now on Alingi, and here she comes. She's about to get clear. It's now with 150 metres to go. Miss Potential in front. Alingi gets over her heels. Now she needs to sprint. Miss Potential's still there. Alingi's in for the fight. She's driving. Here's the line, Miss Potential. Oh, this is close. Miss Potential or Alingi, who's dived at her. Infinite Grace might have held the third from Skewiff, and back behind them.
Potential's won it. What a result for bookmakers. Has come from the Cox Plate to win. What an omen for...
String them out a bit.
Yes, that's the way she races best, and it's the way she's won most of her races. Although, having said...
Next in line...
And, of course, we're building up to the big one, the Group 1 Victoria Derby. Savabeel, Plastered, Cedar Manor and Mr Martini.
Appropriate speed and will race handy. I don't think you'll want to put any pressure on it in the early stage.
And Plastered last as they sweep up towards the turn. It's Lionsgate leading narrowly from King Durham. Heavenly Punters flushed out 3 wide. Savabeel right behind them, waits on a run. The orange blinkers of Mr Martini, and next Count Ricardo getting up on the inside, and then Cedar Manor. They're into the straight now. King Durham's gone to the lead. Getting up on the rails now is Savabeel and Heavenly Punt on the outside. They're the 3 leaders down towards the 300, where Savabeel shoots through on the fence, out by 2 lengths now to Heavenly Punt. Here comes Plastered. He's rocketing home on the outside. The West Australians gobbling in Savabeel and Count Ricardo. 100 left to go. It's Plastered taking the lead. Could he be the superior stayer? Count Ricardo's rallying on the fence, but it is Plastered too good, and Plastered wins it by a length and a quarter. Either Count Ricardo or Savabeel for the minor end of the prize. Soy Cowboy has run
5 and 10, so Soy Cowboy ran a good race for 4th. The first 4 was 9.
A lot closer in the finish.
I'm a bit confused about this Derby. I mean, Savabeel wins the Cox Plate. Red Anchor won the Cox Plate, came out and blasted them in Derby. Stylish Century got narrowly beaten in a Cox Plate, belted them in the Derby. Octagonal won the Cox Plate, should have won the Derby. But Savabeel shouldn't have won the Derby, and I can't sort of work out how that form lines up with the Cox Plate. It's just got me a little confused. I think the winner is a very good horse. I think he's going to be a force next spring if he's sound and everything comes right. I think Plastered, you'll see him in a Caulfield or a Melbourne Cup.
Lane's a little bit and was a false win last week in the Cox Plate. Nevertheless, Plastered is an outstanding stayer. This race Plastered actually came down a fraction on its Amy Var's rating as well. It took a lot out of Plastered last week. It was a brave performance to win, and he is the horse for the future, in my opinion.
Stakes at Flemington. Grand Army is the top rater from Confectioner, Elegant Fashion and Balmuse. Now, Confectioner will be ridden by Nash Rawiller.
800 metres, Grand Army's been carving out some pretty solid fractions. Led Zafara half length, ain't seen nothing third the inside. So Assertive is 4th, 1.5 to Strasbourg, Natural Blitz and then Reclaim. He's being followed by Elegant Fashion and Confectioner as they swing the corner. Vouvray still a long way back. Grand Army around the turn, led by 2 lengths so far under the whip, and ain't seen nothing under pressure. Then So Assertive a break further back. Zasman, Strasbourg, Confectioner pulled out, but Grand Army's away. Past the 300, he's opened up by 5 lengths now. Running on down the outside is Confectioner into second placing from So Assertive. Then came Vouvray, but Grand Army is well clear. He's going to donkey lick them. In the last 100 metres, he just strolls down, and Grand Army scores by 4 lengths Confectioner. Vouvray got up for third, Elegant Fashion fourth, So Assertive fifth. Strasbourg, Confection.
About the best horse in Australia?
No, he proved it last year when he beat Lonhro. That was the highest rating performance since Might and Power. And he, as I've said earlier, that he was very unlucky. But today they went out with plan, and I don't think they had it. I don't think the horse had a good plan in the Cox Plate, whatever the plan was. And he was brilliant yesterday. He sustained speed the entire race. He may have been but he was dominant yesterday, and yes, he is the best horse in the country.
And Flemington, race number 8, and Recapitalise is the favourite here for the Salinger. Jay Ford is on Takeover Target. It's well fancied, and we're about to hear from young Jay at Flemington.
Very convincing last start.
Track, and they're followed then by Goldwell's well back in company with Dilly Dally. Then Pat Pong and Face Values and Basil and Blessum is last of all by the 400, and Lolando by 2 lengths to Takeover Target. Then Recapitalise under pressure from Recurring, and further back Tycoon is battling, but it's Takeover Target who's raced to the lead at the 200. Lolando can't find. Recurring is running on, but it is Takeover Target at the 100 by 2. Recurring is battling away strongly, but Takeover Target, welcome to the big lead. Big Recurring flashing home for third. St Basil, I'd say, from Lolando, and then Strike Line, Pat Pong, Face Value.
Welcome to the big time, Greg. So, this is a sensation. This horse has had 7 starts for 7 wins, has not lost a race. He has been absolutely brilliant. And
1,773, correct weight.
It's an amazing story, that Joe Janik buying the horse for $1,400 in a tried stock sale.
Look, I'm just in awe of that winner, and 7 out of 7 now. He went out for a spell after winning the Ramornie, on a mid-range, good rating, and came back and just, a career best, up there with Spark of Life type rating. Just an outstanding horse, and he absolutely this. And when you go,
and Great is Great, our top rater for the last, ahead of the Inform, Nips, Solar Antiquity and Monarch. And we're going to hear from Larry on the chances of...
Donna's coming 4 wide. Great is Great just behind them in the blue and gold colours. Nips is right off the track coming around the home turn, and then Regent Street down on the rail. Solar Antiquity was next. They swing the corner. Amtrak raced up and went to the lead. Oscar Warriors coming on down the outside, and then Monaghan Tweed getting up on the rail from Solar Antiquity. Amtrak at the 300 led Impaler. Regent Street making ground the rail. Great is running on. Oscar Warrior's gone inside the 200. Amtrak on top. Great is Great, the danger down the outside. Great is racing to Amtrak. Great is Great put the head in front of Amtrak, and Great is Great a neck to Amtrak on the line. Photo for third between Force Apollo and Regent Street, wide apart. Sky Cuddle ran on. Monaghan Tweed just behind them from Lord Volksrad.
Of the year, but nevertheless, that's the way it goes. Takeover Target, simply awesome.
I am Chad. I'm at Sandown at Derby Day yesterday, the 3rd highest attendance ever at Flemington, 115,500. It was
his contingent for the Melbourne Cup. We're going to start off with Vinnie Rowe. The statistics for Vinnie Rowe coming up on your screen. It's drawn 10, the first horse to win the same Group 1 race 4 years running. That's when it won the Irish...
He and one other international horse, which I'll mention when we get to it, are the big worry for Makybe Diva. And Makybe Diva last year. So out of 200 horses that have gone into the Melbourne Cup with this pattern, there's only 3, and all 3 won. Makybe Diva has exactly the same pattern again this year, because the Caulfield Cup, it'll just about win the Caulfield Cup. The scary thing for the Europeans is that it's likely to improve. The race will be over if it does improve. It'll be a great contest down the straight, and Makybe Diva fighting it out with the international horses if it just stays on its Caulfield Cup rating. I think Makybe Diva will win the Cup.
It's music to Leaf.
5 Makybe Diva and 17 She's Archie, followed by Distinction, and then there's at the moment at $7.40. You that Distinction has been a touch easy in early markets on track, but it's very similar to
Distinction. Makybe Diva has been back, we've been told, from $4.30 to $3.20. It sounds like her owner, who's a massive punter, Tony Santic, may have had a bet today.
He did the same in the Caulfield Cup, Bruce. He had a massive bet in the last minutes of betting, and it looks as though he's done the same here today. That is a huge move to shorten that much in a Melbourne Cup. It's not
times, and you know, for anybody that's investing in a race.
How are you feeling?
Around the turn by Catch Me If You Can, the inside. One running on around the outside with a run now as they swing for home as Media Puzzle, and Distinction has come with it. And back behind those horses then Vinnie Rowe is working into it. Hard to get led at the home turn from Zasman. Catch Me If You Can, Mummify and Elvstrom. Down the outside is Honor Zerd, and Vinnie Rowe is coming home well. And further back is Distinction. Zasman at the 300, the leader. Here comes Vinnie Rowe. Elvstrom coming with him. Makybe Diva. She's got right up on the inside, Makybe Diva. She's hit the front now from Vinnie Rowe and Zasman. It's Makybe Diva clear. She's out by 2 lengths to Vinnie Rowe. It's Makybe Diva clear, and she's going to do what no mare has ever done. Makybe Diva wins it again. Vinnie Rowe second, Zasman third, Elvstrom fourth, then Huck's Dancer, Distinction, Mamul. Catch Me If You Can, followed by... Has been one of the great rides of the Melbourne Cup. A history-making win by Makybe Diva.
She's one of the greats. She's one of the greatest mares to race in this country. To be able to do that today on that ground with the weight.
Oh, I think, it's fantastic. I just can't believe my eyes.
And here comes your trainer, Lee Friedman, to join us live on air. She's going to talk.
She's the greatest staying mare ever raced in this end of the world, and maybe one of the greatest ever in the world.
I agree.
She's the first mare ever to win the Cup twice. She's the first horse ever to win the Cup with 2 different trainers, David Hall. Vinnie Rowe's performance, by the way, these are the 2 giants of world racing, the 2 great 2-mile giants, and they put Zasman behind legend. She becomes a legend in the history of this race that means so much to this country. She is up there with the greatest names of the past. We've never seen a mare quite like her.
Just run, beaten by an outstanding mare. I thought he'd win there just a furlong down. He came with his usual brave, courageous run. You can see why he's run 24 races and never been out of the first 4. But we might even be back next year.
You might bring him back again.
An outstanding mare. Excellent for racing. Probably the best result the Melbourne Cup could have. 2 of the best stayers in the world.
He won a race here last year, a minor race, and today, with a young boy riding him for the first time, the trifecta.
A groundswell of support for taking her overseas and running her in the Arc. But he did it tough, Vinnie, with a big weight. And Dominic Byrne, once again, with his stats and figures, he said this mare was unbeatable. Well, it appears as though he was right.
Great ride. Great ride in the winner. It just puts so much...
Sky ratings, it's Hollow Bullet, top rater, from Kylie Kwong, Storm Alert, between Hollow Bullet and Storm Alert on Unitab either. Just a field of 8 fillies in the Oaks this year.
Crown Oaks field for home. Mango Daiquiri a half length in front from Zaza. Yuma Quest waits on the run. Storm Alert ready to go. Kylie Kwong's come around them and Hollow Bullet's in traffic. Into the straight to the 450. And it's Mango Daiquiri by 2 lengths. Storm Alert and Kylie Kwong. Hollow Bullet had to ease over their heels. She's in clear room now, but Mango Daiquiri the leader by a length. Kylie Kwong, Storm Alert are coming after her, and then Hollow Bullet. Mango Daiquiri with 100 to go. Storm Alert and Kylie Kwong plays at every stride. A 3-way go. Storm Alert and Kylie Kwong. Hollow Bullet lifting late. Storm Alert, Kylie Kwong, Hollow Bullet. I think she's got there. Hollow Bullet by a nose. What a run. Fantastic to beat either Kylie Kwong or Storm Alert, and Mango Daiquiri just...
Kylie Kwong, and look at Ollie on...
And then Hollow Bullet, Mango Daiquiri with 100 to go. Storm Alert and Kylie Kwong plays at every stride. A 3-way go. Storm Alert and Kylie Kwong. Hollow Bullet lifting late. Storm Alert, Kylie Kwong, Hollow Bullet. I think she's got there. Hollow Bullet by a nose. What a run. Fantastic to beat either Kylie Kwong or Storm Alert, and Mango Daiquiri just...
Kylie Kwong, and look at Ollie on Storm Alert, pushing and pushing.
4th place. That is a magnificent Oaks finish. Behind them is...
Tough horse.
In your Interlink Stakes for...
Isn't it good?
And they're parading at Flemington for race 8, the Lexus Classic. Let's have a look at a few of these before Ascot.
Very easy on track, under the tote at 570. Fastnet Rock is pretty similar. Flip of the coin odds. Mloza.
On down the outside, Recurring boxed up behind Fastnet Rock. Super impressive on the far side. At the 350, Regimental Gal leading only narrowly. Oh, Fastnet Rock's cantering on the outside. Bossy had a big look around. Super impressive on the far side's coming with him, but past the 200 metre mark, Fastnet Rock in front. Super impressive is giving him a bit of a race. Fastnet Rock a neck in front. Now the 3-year-old starts to pull away. Fastnet Rock too good. Beat Super impressive by a length and a half. Recurring comes home hard for third. Bomberbill fourth. Then Dandy Kid, Regimental Gal, Impaler, Mloza.
Too good for these horses. Super impressive and Recurring, filling the placings there. But when Bossy looked around, you thought, with the lightweight, how are these old fellas going to beat him? Oh, Super impressive. He loves the straight and he did a great job. And Recurring, well, she battled on, but he was in a class of his own here.
Paul Perry certainly worked the horse out. He's got him where he wants him now. He's got him. He says he's a sprinter.
The 3-year-olds and the Journey 1400.
Set to run. All in for the first behind that leading division. Krasky's being lively, and then Pin-Up Boy, who's under the whip. Rokothoko the inside. Binding is starting to work home the widest. Still Volunteer has a kick and leads about a half a length from Picket Fence. Binding still running home. Krasky battles only at the 150. Volunteer the neck in front. Picket Fence is staying with him all of the way, and Binding making ground. He is coming with big bounds now. Binding, he went straight past them. He's a good horse, all right. Binding came away. Smart win. Binding beat Picket Fence, drawing away by more than a length. Volunteer third, and then a break to Rokothoko together with Garbo Storm. Krasky seemed to really struggle in the ground today. Then Pin-Up Boy settled the score.
Only its third start today. Binding gives Corey Brown on the Interlink Stakes.
Now let's have
up. It's the Sandown Guineas for the 3-year-olds. Race special. 2 Almaher, 1 Barely a Moment, and
about $15. But they're backing the favourite, Matt, for the Sandown Guineas, where we have a Melbourne caller calling all the action.
And Binding last of all at the 800 metre mark, the halfway mark, 15 lengths from the lead. Light of Prosperity led 3/4. Almaher, Ken Grande and Binding last of all, given a crack with a whip there as they turn for home down to the 500 metre mark. Light of Prosperity from Almaher, then Rockford Bay. Barely a Moment from Kistadan the rail. Further back, Light Action. Binding still about 8 to 9 lengths off them. Volatant down the middle with also Taurus Hall, and Binding starting to wind up. He's coming with a run now. Barely a Moment getting out after the leader Almaher, and here comes Binding. He's coming with a withering run with Volatant in the middle. The leader Almaher. Binding's got them though. He's charged to the front, Binding from Almaher, and Binding, what a brilliant galloper he is. Binding wins it. 3/4 to either Barely a Moment or Almaher. Fourth home is Lords are leaping out wide, followed by Kistadan.
Almaher battled on well into third place. Geez, exciting, this horse. He gets back and he just rattles home over the top. I thought Glenn's ride on Barely a Moment was a beauty as well, and if the horse had the ability, he probably should have won the race, but this horse could be a superstar. Keith?
Keen to see him back on the dry. He's a serious racehorse. In fact, he may stay. Looking through his pedigree overnight, he's a half-brother to an Oaks winner, an Arborea. So the pedigree says that he may stay. Lloyd's a leap.
Great is great, number 1. And he's there at $2.30 pin down.
Beth, Paddy Ross Boy can't get in at the moment on Great is Great, and he's heeled up, but he's still out 3 deep around Smart and Mighty. Over on the inside, Paddy Royale on a length, last of all, None for the Road. 800 out, off-wide about a head in front of Boreal. 2.5, Zero Drama, Pink Fit the Fence. 2 further back in the race, then Great is Great getting a little closer now outside Smart and Mighty. Then came Paddy Royale and None for the Road outside it. At the 600 metre mark, coming to the turn, off-wide about a neck in front of Boreal. Then Zero Drama going to the outside. Boss will wait for the run on Pink Fit back on the rail. A length further back, Great is Great from Smart and Mighty, Paddy Royale. Off-wide a length in front of the 400 metre mark from Boreal. Pink Fit behind those, and Great is Great coming down the centre. He's still running on, Great is Great. In fact, he's raced up and quickly grabbed the lead, and Great is Great has hit the front of the 200 metre mark. Pink Fit is still well back, but Great is Great, he's beat off the track most of the trip. He sprints away. Smart and Mighty gets out from Boreal, but Great is Great wins well. Great is Great by 3. Smart and Mighty grabs second, a nose to Boreal third. Then further back was Off-White, Paddy Royale, Pink Fit, poor run from Zero Drama, and None for the Road. That's a good win. Great is Great.
7. Sandown, correct weight. Great is Great beats Smart and Mighty and Boreal.
This newcomer, this filly that is, there it is in the all serious on the outside, was back at the tail of the field. Have a look at go swoosh over the closing stages at Rose Hill.
Jockey trying to weave through, and here comes Nemesine right down the outside below the 200. Nemesine moves up strongly, hands and heels, and races clear. It looks very smart. Put up 3 lengths on Faslamar, Parsicatira, but this is a one-act affair. Nemesine down to the line wins it by 5 to 6 lengths. Getting up
stages at Rose Hill.
Jockey trying to weave through, and here comes Nemesine right down the outside below the 200. Nemesine moves up strongly, hands and heels, and races clear. It looks very smart. Put up 3 lengths on Faslamar, Parsicatira, but this is a one-act affair. Nemesine down to the line wins it by 5 to 6 lengths. Getting up for second was Faslamar from Made For Me and Parsicatira.
Well, now you may say that the company wasn't so hot, but it's just the way that it did it, Ron.
Oh, it was a breathtaking win. Look, the opposition was very ordinary. Don't get anything wrong there. But this is a great sort of filly. So she should be. She cost $400,000 as a yearling. Look, credit goes out to good filly here.
This is being compared to a Lingy now.
Oh, don't get carried away.
Well, it is. I mean, you know...
Richard, it's before Christmas.
I know that. I know that. But and I'm not comparing it, but there are some who are. And I'll tell you what, the turn...
Turns to take on Silent Witness yet again, and Silent Witness, regular jockey Phil.
Before big races, but there's no doubt this is the one that everybody is watching. Wherever you are on the outside of Natural Blitz, they're the leaders at the quarter pole. Next then came on the outside Able Prince, VAR trying to pick up. Right there Multi Dandy, Silent Witness goes under Natural Blitz. Natural Blitz runs for his life, but the great champion Silent Witness starts to the front. This is all over. He's toying with them. This is unbelievable. Silent Witness 2 in front. Cape of Good Hope, Natural Blitz. Able Prince trying hard. The world champion wins in a canter. He's too good, Silent Witness. Cape of Good Hope second, Natural Blitz, and there is, dare I say it, maybe the best we've ever seen. An amazing training performance. Witness, 13 out of 13. Tony Cruz, fairly course, he belongs to all of us.
The world champion.
The world champion. He's never raced outside of Hong Kong. How can you call him the world champion? He hasn't taken anyone on yet. Only the ones that have had to travel there to match him.
Look at this horse.
He's a great horse.
Look at him. He's not even concentrating.
He's a super horse, but you can't be the world champion till you've been somewhere else in the world.
They love him.
I know they love him.
He's a champion.
I'm not a narc.
We talk about...
This afternoon, banished the favourite over Longhorn Sprung and Barabali for on the fourth line of betting at around...
And a Cartum, a length and a half. Sprung's gone to third. Fourth is Hadaf and fifth the Cartum. And then comes on the outside Tiger Moon, who's lost leeway. Gilded Grace, and then a length to Power of Destiny, Noble Flyer, and then comes as they swing around the corner Longhorn, Baron Barley, Fairy Tale Dancer and Beau Covert. Straightening up now. Biscayne Bay in front. Banished has hung a little. Sprung in the third posse, followed by Gilded Grace, a length and a half then to Power of Destiny, who's starting to motor home now as they race to the 200. Banished is going backwards, and Power of Destiny raced away. Jimmy Cassidy driving Power of Destiny to a lead of 3 lengths. Sprung, followed by Longhorn and Biscayne Bay, but Power of Destiny walked in. Power of Destiny beats Sprung and Longhorn. Photo fourth, Biscayne Bay with Noble Flyer, and then Fairy Tale Dancer, Gilded Grace, Beau Covert, Baron Barley, Hadaf. Is having a terrific run, isn't he? And that horse has absolutely blown them away. Well, obviously the experience gained in the Strawberry Hill slipper up at Wyong when 6th in a field of 9. It wasn't all that far away, 4.6 behind Snitzel. But here this afternoon, it's absolutely waltzed home. Number 9 by Dane Hill from Janetta Cochran. Kevin Moses, Jim Cassidy. Number 9, Nick's great mate Jim Cassidy steering Power of Destiny to the post.
Event from Randwick. The result there was 9, 12, 6 and 8. First 4 on the New South Wales T.A. Smith Slipper is the 6th event from Durban. Terrific clash coming up between Snitzel, 150 else. 10 Blizzardly at $4. Blizzardly, the more than ready filly for Gay Waterhouse and Chris.
By 3 parts. Snitzel second. 2 Vocalic inside. Moonlight Shadow Stakeholder fifth on the inside. A Fun Love and Departure. 4 to Cat Rap. And then came Street Smart and Flying Dollar. They're on the bend. Blizzardly the leader. Now Snitzel's been called upon for his effort, and around the corner they come. And Snitzel's raced up quickly to go to the lead from Blizzardly. They're 4 Vocalic, and then comes Stakeholder. But Snitzel's shot away coming to the 200 metres. He put about 3 lengths on them. He's raced away from Blizzardly. Street Smart running home on the outside, but here's your Magic Millions favourite, folks, and here may be your Magic Millions winner. Schnitzel's careering away. He won by 6 lengths. Street Smart's got second. Blizzardly got very tight, but ran third in front of Fun Love. The next time, gap them. I'll tell you what, I want to know the time he's run. There it goes, 19.51. 35.06 the last 600.
And he come back at Wyong and he's, they were going to beat him at Wyong and he's, they were going to beat him, he was going to beat him at Wyong and I reckon they'll see.
Broadband, 4 Green Machine, 5, 2, 3 and 4. Horses in the enclosure for the 6th event. Chong Tong the 2 at 360, 3 Broadway. Chong Tong at 360 for the standard.
Number 1 on top here, super impressive. I was stuck with it. Look, in the last couple of minutes, it has actually shifted out. It's still...
Short time ago, Oil Band, Gunner Tom, Green Machine, and a super impressive having his last racetrack appearance. Let's cross to Brian Martin now.
Fence from Confederate Kid. Smart and Mighty further out. They're followed by Bless'em. Savage Attack. Further back, Broadband, followed by Kane Smicer. Getting back is Gunner Tom, second to last, and last of all, Leone Chiara. 5.50 out onto the course proper, and Chong Tong and Green Machine the rail. A length and a half, Smart and Mighty. Super impressive going for the run on the fence. Just held up now from Keeping the Faith, then Bless'em. Shango's Image, Broadband, and further back then Gunner Tom. But going to the front is Chong Tong now from Bless'em on the outside, down at the 300 metre mark. Then super impressive getting out from Broadband. Chong Tong in front, Bless'em on the outside. Broadband super impressive and Savage Attack. They're closing rapidly now. Bless'em super impressive up on the inside. Super impressive is driven through, and super impressive. He's got up to win the standage from either Bless'em, Broadband, Savage Attack, and Chong Tong just behind those from Leone Chiara.
Has just won the Standish, and a terrific way to go up winning a Group 3, isn't it? Bless'em 3, 8,044.80. Now they're moving in well at Morford.
Anwick on the light fingers, and Group 2 for the 3-year-old fillies. Very good field. Beauty. Let's head to Ian.
Half 1 in a million, then Villa Bled, Burning Sands, and But I'm Serious as last as they round the home corner in the light fingers. Miss Rainmaker with the inside running, Shading commands nothing. Trace of on a length away third. 1 in a million is badly bottled away from Villa Bled, Burning Sands, and But I'm Serious. I can't get out. Beatman on the favourite 1 in a million. It's gone back to last, and Trace of on accelerated. 150 to go. Trace of on a length and a half. But I'm Serious. 1 in a million finally seeing daylight. Will it be too late? It will. Trezevant holds 1 in a million, and Trezevant has beaten 1 in a million. How far should it have won by? Third, But I'm Serious from Burning Sands, I'd reckon. And Maker was absolute. Stand by for play. Was beaten 1 in a million. How far should it have won by? Third, But I'm...
Ian Craig there. Matey, good on you.
Yeah. Support 2 for Go Bob Go. We'll take a break and we're back with Murray Bridge.
Sanford Road shuffled back from Bayaka. Night Fancy last of all. Sanford Road the leader. Led at the 400 metre mark from Miss Moneybox second. Then Delavanti, Muraroa. Wider out Go Bob Go, and further back Justice Alex from Adios Dapper. And then Comedy Turn inside the 200. Miss Moneybox reached the lead. After it on the outside, Go Bob Go. Bayaka the debutant running a big race down the outside. Miss Moneybox being tackled by Bayaka. The first starter, Bayaka. By gee, that's a big win. Bayaka beats Go Bob Go second, Miss Moneybox third. Then Go Bob Go, Bayaka the debutant running a big race down the outside. Miss Moneybox being tackled by Bayaka. The first starter, Bayaka. By gee, that's a big win. Bayaka beats Go Bob Go second, Miss Moneybox third. Then Comedy Turn, Sanford Run.
235, 235. Fourth race at
Today, Sky is live at Flemington to bring you the Group 1 Lightning Stakes runners are at the barrier. There's Spark of Life. And
almost here's Alingi coming in. And the brilliant filly. Dane Shadow chases it down towards the flat rail ahead of Blur, recapitalised, Savage Attack, Alingi getting cover early, and Tony Girl last of that division. Spark of Life is leading the side out here, although Dane Shadow's taken charge and come across in front there with Cape of Good Hope. Just behind them maybe McLaren and also General Baton with Fast Net Rock, the widest runner. They come to the 300. Lalando's got a big lead. He's out by 3 or 4 lengths now from Alingi giving chase. Spark of Life down the outside, and then came Fast Net Rock, who's unwinding finding his run at the 150-metre mark. And here comes Alinghi now to get to the lead. Alinghi in front. Fastnet Rock's after her. He's closing on the outside. They hit it a photo. Photo between Fastnet Rock. He might have got there. Alinghi's close up on the inside. Third placing, Cape of Good Hope is handy with the Lalando in a photo finish and Spark of Life. They're trailed by Tani Girl. Brock has won it. Number 11. Fastnet Rock, ridden by Glenn Boss.
It's nice for this race, you know, but you think
it's Colt Delayed that can do it too, you know?
Well, he was coming very, very quickly, but she'd have fought harder if she'd have seen him. I think he ambushed her and got over the top of her. I don't think there's a lot between them, but he's an outstanding colt and his record up the straight remains intact.
Look,
It's the big feature, the CF4 Stakes at Group 1 level. The Sky ratings show Maccabi Diva and Not a Single Doubt, both on one. Holding favouritism, Regal Roller, but you wouldn't say they're jumping out of the grandstands here, Elf, to back the prominent leader in the race.
No. Good links to Vouvray, two to Maccabi Diva, Fantastic, Rise On is well back in the field as they came up the side now, and Pretorius was last. Coming to the 600, Regal Roller by Nectar, Not a Single Doubt, a length to Elvstrom, forced to travel 3 wide the trip. Casual Pass, fourth the inside from Lad of the Matter, one to Mr. Murphy. Danehill Express held up on the inside, followed by Mummify, Savabeel starting a run, and then Vouvray and Natural Blitz as they swing to the corner. It's Regal Roller and Neck in front of Not a Single Doubt. Elvstrom a half length away on the outside. Savabeel comes wider, stretching home well, and then Mr. Murphy. Regal Roller has his usual kick down at the 200. He's out by 2. Not a Single Doubt. Elvstrom starting to come home now, and then Savabeel. Regal Roller getting a little tight at the 100. Elvstrom starting to pick him up, and then Lad of the Matter. Elvstrom's grabbed the lead. Elvstrom just wins it from Savabeel, who flashes home, and Lad of the Matter close up. Regal Roller just weakening the last bit. Casual Pass, another beauty. Did you see the run of Maccabi Diva? A lovely run. Back behind those, Danehill Express, and they were... What a super win. He never got on the track. He was 3 wide the whole way. Primed for a first up win.
He's got class, Andrew. He's got class.
I'm just going to go back to you and say, you often mention the fact when horses are bunched together, go down to about 11, and there's 3.5 lengths between first and 11th. What do you make of that? Are they any good?
Well, they've all been proven to be good horses. I think Mummify finished 10th and Danehill Express finished 11th. And I think they're all quality horses, so we just have to say they've all come back very, very well. There was only a few lengths, as you say, but very well too. There's so many good runs in that race. It'll be a really strong form race.
The favourite for this one is Grand Army number 1, ahead of Courts in Session and Our Egyptian Rain. As Ron alerted,
We'll soon see action in the Apollo Stakes. Up the rear there at the 600 in the Apollo, and Courts in Session about 5 lengths Grand Army, 2.5 Our Egyptian Rain, a length Desert War, and 4 Don Rafael, 1.5 Another Warrior, 2 Royal Musk. Bowman has Courts in Session, 4 in front of the favourite Grand Army as they straighten up. Our Egyptian Rain coming out on 2 Desert War, down to the 250. Bowman shaking up Courts in Session, the big brown gelding Grand Army racing up to Courts in Session. Our Egyptian Rain and Desert War, but Grand Army hit the front, put his neck clear of Courts in Session. Desert War is battling on. Grand Army in front from Courts in Session, and Grand Army, the classy gelding Grand Army, has beaten Courts in Session. Third home was Desert War, Our Egyptian Rain fourth, then Don Rafael, Royal Mask with Another Warrior.
A few weeks now.
It's going to be a terrific race the way they're all going.
And coming up, so Elf, let's jump into the late month.
Any of them can bleed if they want to.
Do you care?
I don't care, no.
Bullet a touch slow down in gate 2. Dazelle ease back. Astrodame Provence out now on the favourite. Dazelle's 2 lengths away last. They bunch. 600 left to go. Astrodame had it narrowly from Twisted Heart Provence. Hollow Bullet's gone up 4 wide. And right off the track now is Truly Wicked, 5 wide. Ransom Claims off the bit. And Dazelle was last. Coming around the home turn. Astrodame on the inside. Hollow Bullet being aggressively ridden in the middle. And on their outside, Truly Wicked is coming with a strong run. These 3 have kicked away now as they swing around the turn. Dazelle making ground. Hollow Bullet's got a real fight. Truly Wicked led her narrowly. Hollow Bullet has to rally on the inside. Truly Wicked's a neck in front of Hollow Bullet. Dazelle is coming over the top of them out wide. Dazelle is flying home. Dazelle gets there. Yes, she's got there, Dazelle, in the last stride or 2. Either Hollow Bullet or Truly Wicked for second. And they were clear from Astrodame, Twisted Heart Provence, Ransom Claim last in. She's come from a really awkward place, an impossible winning possession when the speed wasn't strong. And
impressive win by Dazelle. The Oaks in Sydney for this one, perhaps for the horse.
Very, very good filly, the winner. She's got a sense of timing about her. It was only a second run back from a spell. She looks like she'll stay all day. Should be favourite for the Oaks.
Ratings on the surround, and of course on top is this terrific filly Lotteria. We're looking forward. It's the strong second elect. She's had 2 runs back. She should be cherry ripe for this, and Nash Rawiller just a fraction shorter on the tote. Crimson Rain, the second elect, then Johan.
They're off in the surround. Second, Johann's Toy trapped on a limb. Third, 2 to Burning Sands, followed closely by Trace Avant, and further out on the track next is Tivoli Dancer. The deepest is Lotteria, then Fantasia, Crimson Rain, Cincinnati Gallon, Pimpinella. They straighten up. Lotteria's back midfield. Villablet on the inside, Shania Dane and Johann's Toy. Tivoli Dancer, and now Lotteria starting to put in. Here she comes, Lotteria. Gathered them up very quickly on the inside. Johann's Toy battling on pretty well is Fantasia with Shania Dane, but Lotteria, 5 out of 5, has won it from Shania Dane or Johann's Toy. Then Fantasia, Trace Avant, Villablet, Tivoli Dancer, Burning Sands, followed up by Pimpinella. Too good. Lotteria the winner. She gathered
out of Rose Reward, beautifully bred, Lotteria
as well. But yeah, you can't take much away from the winner. She's simply outstanding.
I know we use the runners parade. Grand Army, the 100 raider for the Group 1. Chipping Norton, Courts in Session on the toad in front of Courts in Session, who has not moved from his opening quote, and he's about level pegging on the toad.
This is the order coming down to the corner at the 450, and Courts in Session is only a length and a half on Grand Army. Similar margin, Our Egyptian Rain. Winning Bell, Hugs Dancer from County Tyrone and Sulamore. Homeward bound now, and Danny Beasley asking Grand Army for his effort, and he races up to almost join Courts in Session, who won't give in without a kick, and Winning Bell is running on from Our Egyptian Rain, but Grand Army put his neck in front of Courts in Session, and then Our Egyptian Rain and Winning Bell, but it's Grand Army hanging on and will beat Courts in Session. Grand Army, too good for Courts in Session. Third, Winning Bell. Fourth, Our Egyptian Rain, followed by Hugs Dancer, County Tyrone, and Absolute with Sulamore.
Term 27 for Grand Army. That record says it all. Over $4 million in prize money. Dan Beasley.
And Grand Army, well, he's just defending his ranking as the #1 horse in the country pretty well at the moment.
He's the king.
Get somewhere up near them. I thought On Debut was quite good, and I'd be more inclined to forget its last start.
Going up 3 wide. Jurger is back second last, and Red Leader is at the tail, about 5.50 to go as they approach the home turn, and Sweeper's Dream was the leader. Joffa Denaro going up on the outside. They're being followed on the outside. They're running home well was Avenue Tolder, Tally Special, Mr. Daylight, So Tough, and Jurger's a long way back as they come inside the last 300. Sweeper's Dream leads from Joffa Denaro. Gold Carriage getting through 2 off the fence. Further out than Avenue Tolder, and Jurger is starting to steam home down the centre of the track. Here comes Jurger after Gold Carriage. Sweeper's Dream boxing on. Jurger, Gold Carriage. Jurger gets its head in front, and Jurger comes away. Beats Gold Carriage. Sweeper's Dream third, just in front of Joffa Denaro. Then came Avenue Tolder, Red Leader, Mr. Daylight, the Lady Hussey, Tally Special, So Tough, and Millstorm was last in.
6,089.60 tab limited. 8th event, the Robert Sangster for the fillies and mares over the 1,200 metres. Group 1 action at its very best at Morfettville. Now the ratings for the 8th event, and in particular interested to see the price of Alingi. Well, $1.30 on you. They're on their way to the start. Alingi is all the rage at 140. Danabar, the
50-metre mark. They're about to straighten in the Robert Sangster, and the leader is Danabar. She's 3/4 in front of Tani Girl. Wider out Social Glow near the inside, maybe McLaren. Now Alingi let go on the outside, going with her Solar Antiquity, but not for long. Alingi's cruised up and taken the lead in the Robert Sangster Stakes, and Oliver has not moved on Alingi. She is a class above these. Glamourpuss is charging to second from Solar Antiquity, but Alingi a soft win in the Robert Sangster Stakes at Group 1 level. That's her third, and she won by 2 lengths to Glamourpuss. Third in the race, Solar Antiquity. GI start was effected. 2 lengths to Glamourpuss.
you just can't wait now for the Newmarket to come along, can you? Alingi,
Look, this filly classes above these other fillies and mares here, and with the weight scale being
weight for age, she got in getting weight off horses in a handicap she'd probably give 5 kilos to. So it was all odds this year are a stellar bunch this year, especially the sprinters.
Definitely.
6 Rage, and there's a rating for each horse in the race. Elvstrom, Casual Passia 4 Stakes, first up at Caulfield. There's no question he's one of Australia's.
Set, racing in the St George. Elvstrom up for something special. 500 left to go. Casual passed by 1. Elvstrom stalking him. 1 Natural Blitz. Dwayne Dunn just niggling at him. And Makybe Diva within 2 lengths of Elvstrom coming around the home turn. Casual pass. Corners by a half length. Elvstrom's coming after him. Makybe Diva peels off Elvis's back. She's in it with a show. 200 to go now. Elvstrom got up level with Casual pass. Makybe Diva still threatening. She's about a half length away. Elvstrom with 100 metres to go, had the lead narrowly from Makybe Diva. Elvstrom holding on near the line. Elvstrom in front and won. Elvis, the king of Caulfield, beat Makybe Diva by a head. A great St George. Casual pass third and Natural Blitz for last. He had a battle. It was a great race. It was set up to be a great race for a long way.
It's the last 600 metres in that race than they did in the Oakley Plate. So that spells out the merit and the quality of these two horses, Elvstrom and Makybe Diva. It probably suits him, that sprint home, a little better than it suits her, and it'll be a mighty clash in the Australian Cup if that comes off. And I'm looking forward to it, boys.
Oh, look, it's going to be a fantastic race. Although, one thing I will say, you're going to get a much bigger field in the Australian Cup. That's going to suit Elvstrom. It's not going to suit Makybe Diva. They opened up an inquiry.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You don't think there'll be more pace with a bigger field?
Irrespective, you're still going to get Elvstrom in the perfect position all the time. She is going to be disadvantaged over the mile and quarter, 2,000 metres at Flemington because of the bigger field.
What
it's
makes
going to
you
be
think
harder.
She has to race that far back anymore?
Well, let me tell you something. I bet she's not as close to Elvstrom in the Australian Cup as that race yesterday.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Well, I'll bet you on it. Not a problem whatsoever. One could be...
1, 7, 2 and 6. The race coming up in about 15 minutes as we check out the market. The favourite is Fastnet Rock, number 1.
A nice space between runs. What do you expect in the Oakley Plate today?
Well, he's had, he was...
You can surprise you, and it's quite an open field.
A bit later today, Tirage.
Back to last at the 600 metres. Don't Tell Tom along the rails and Lalando, the 2 leaders ahead now of Segments, and Alizé fourth the outside. 2 lengths to Fastnet Rock. Tycoon around him, Strike Line the rail. Then Foreplay, Dan Bird and Legally Bay as last as they swing around the turn. Don't Tell Tom is headed by Lalando at the top of the straight now. Then Segments, Alizé down the outside. Fastnet Rock, 4 lengths from the leader. Inside the 200, it's Lalando in front of Don't Tell Tom. Segments running a huge race, and Fastnet Rock is closing now. Here he comes. Fastnet Rock has raced to Lalando, and Segments the inside, and the 3-year-old has just won it. Fastnet Rock, what a beauty. Beating Segments, who's run out of her skin. Legally Bay Lalando photoed for third from Foreplay, and Don't Tell Tom. Strike Line and setting a new benchmark for 3-year-olds in handicap sprinting, carrying 57 kilos. Fastnet Rock has won the Oakley Plate. Number 1.
Tycoon, I'll be interesting to see what happened there.
There's no doubt he's an outstanding 3-year-old sprinter, Fastnet Rock, and it's going to be a mighty clash when he clashes with Alinghi. They're both going brilliantly. That form being franked around Cape of Good Hope and the others through the Lightning Stakes there. A brilliant win carrying the 57 kilos, the weight carrying record, and the Segments. I don't know where it came from.
Stakes over the 2,000, and Grand Army is the 100 rating special in front of $1.30, almost unbackable odds. As expected, Grand Army has always been the long odds-on favourite.
No change in the order, and Grand Army's got them all well and truly off the bit, and around the corner comes the favourite, about 2 off the inside rail, and set sail for the judge by 2 lengths. Second Posse Hugs Dancer, followed on the inside, Natural Blitz, and then comes Vouvray and County Tyrone, but Grand Army, he's in a world of his own, past the 200. He's about 5 lengths Hugs Dancer and Vouvray, but he's a class above them. He's left them standing, and this is the easiest $260,000 owner Alan Bell will ever get. Grand Army east up on the line to beat Vouvray, who I think has snared second, and Nostril to Hugs Dancer, and then came County Tyrone and Natural Blitz. Well, Grand Army has simply out-toyed them in the Ranvet Stakes. That was a win and a half, wasn't it?
Well, the clash with Maccabi Diva and Grand Army will be interesting.
Yeah, I've got him ranked as the #1 horse in the country, Grand Army, and I think he's defending that ranking very, very well at the moment. He was in a class of his own here. These were handicappers behind him. This is a weight for team riding. Anything else you want brought in?
This horse will just dominate the BMW. I can't see any horses running with speed in the race, so something might emerge.
I hope they bring Elfstrom up.
Lee Freedman is confident champion filly Alingi can justify her rating as the best horse he has ever trained by winning tomorrow's Newmarket Handicap.
Better than her. There's been a few as good probably, but nothing better than her.
Alingis have assessed them in the Newmarket Handicap. Alingi gets the 100 ahead of Not a Single Doubt, then Fastnet Rock and...
I've got no doubt Fastnet Rock has drawn far, far better than what she has. She may...
Favourites race here for the last time. What a scenario. On its outside there is Fastnet Rock, followed by Alingi. Now Oliver's just pushing the filly along a bit here, and then Special Harmony and Not a Single Doubt. And on the grandstand side, Don't Tell Tom, just led from Dan Bird. But at the 300-metre mark, here's Fastnet Rock. He's coming with his run. He's hit the lead. Alingi's into the clear, and she's chasing him on the outside now. Fastnet Rock at the 100. Alingi's coming at him. Alingi got to Fastnet Rock. She's superior. She's coming away, and it's Alingi to win it by a length to Fastnet Rock. Third is Foreplay, and then Special Harmony, who's ran a magnificent race. Next, General Baton for filly delivers.
I think it's fair to say it's probably been her biggest win today. She's beaten the older horses and the males. Her previous wins have been against her own age group and the fillies and...
She's the best sprinter we've had, and probably nearly the best horse we've had.
In your wildest...
As I said before, there's not many horses can let down as quick as this one. She's an absolute superstar.
Damien before the race.
By our Kavira.
You know, she's right up there with the best that we've had, and she had to be Fastnet Rock. He's a great horse. And
absolute star, this filly. She's a beauty. I think we should definitely take note of Lee Freedman's words there. Look, this filly's $3.75 to win the Doncaster. Don't touch it. Don't feed the bookies and the tab. They're going to get the lot as it is. So there's no way in the world that she'll run the Doncaster.
Now, Roddy, before we came on...
Ladies and gentlemen of Super Saturday, this afternoon's Australian Cup heavyweight title bout is scheduled for 2,000 metres. In the red corner...
Here's the ratings, and as we check out all the prices and ratings for the Australian Cup, let's hear from Nashra.
Here they meet in a farewell. It's a scriptwriter's dream. Let's hope we get the finish that we've all come to see. Lad of the Manor, and a length away last of all Maccabi Diva. They're inside the 600. She's about 12 lengths from the leader, and as they came up towards the turn, it's Niagara Falls with a lead of 5 lengths. Now Elfstrom goes into clear second, followed by Casual Pass, 2 lengths Mummify, a length to Winning Bell, a length to Lad of the Manor, and 2 lengths to Maccabi Diva. On the turn at the 550, and it's Niagara Falls coming around the turn by 2.5. Elfstrom is bolting second. Winning Bell's got up on the outside. Maccabi Diva pocketed just behind them. In the straight now, and Winning Bell with a lightning dash hit the front. From Elfstrom the inside. Now Maccabi Diva clear. Lad of the Manor down the outside. Could this be a surprise? Winning Bell in front. Elfstrom can't win. Maccabi Diva's coming after Winning Bell. 150 metres to go, and the Grand Mare raced up on the outside. Winning Bell fights back. Maccabi Diva's ahead in front though. She pulls clear. She's a wonderful mare. What a champion. Maccabi Diva beat Winning Bell a length. Third placing either Lad of the Manor or Elfstrom, who is clearly disappointing. Next Mummify, Casual Pass, and last is Niagara Falls.
She is a brilliant mare. It's actually her first win today at Weight for Age, and she's done it.
No limit to this mare, is there? The fame grows, the legend grows. 2 Melbourne Cups, an Australian Cup, a Sydney Cup. She wrote all the record books last year when she won her second.
I hope we've got that on camera. A big kiss on the cheeks. Tony, sum it up.
oh, the best. She's the best ever. She's the best ever. Horse of the year. Come back from the Melbourne Cup, won the Australian Cup. Brilliant horse.
What about a time?
Fantastic. Broke the course record, mate.
Did it? Broke the course record. Lee, Tony Sandick joining us. They've broken the track record, and that was one hell of a win. 158.7, Matt.
All right, thanks, Sam.
She's taken about 0.8 of a second off Northerly's track record. Well, and that says so much because he's one of the best 2,000-metre horses we've ever seen. He won 2 Australian Cups and 2 Cox Plates. Admitted to Maccabi Diva. Probably the BMW next Saturday against Grand Army. Now, that would sort out Horse of the Year if she hasn't got it already, I would think. Maybe...
To paying 100 for the Freedman clan and Lee in particular, but yesterday would be pretty hard to top.
Graham, I think it was the best day the Freedman Brothers stable. Well, Freedman Brothers is now basically only Lee and Anthony, but I think it's the best day ever. I mean,
I tell you what, I thought she was vulnerable yesterday. I think it's a formality she goes to Sydney next week and wins the BMW. I thought it was simply awesome. Yeah, we'll wait and see about that. Nevertheless...
Winning Bell's run second there.
Winning Bell...
Grand Army would beat at 10 lengths.
Now, OK, different ball game. Times don't lie. We'll have to double-check the times.
Now, what time are they going to run in a BMW?
OK.
A lot slower.
It is a different
ball game. You put
game.
Mummify on the float?
And unlike what I said last time, Maccabi Diva will be closer to the leading division in the BMW over a mile and a half as opposed to that race there. But I tell you what, that was an absolute gut-buster for Winning Bell, and don't be surprised if it doesn't perform again.
Alfie, you were wrong about the Elvstrom Maccabi Diva thing.
You were.
No, you were. You've been trying to talk your way out of it by talking over and not letting anyone else get in here.
Richard,
you're wrong about that. You'll go to Sydney. I'll tell you what, it'll be extremely difficult for Maccabi Diva to win in Sydney because they will go at a snail's pace because there'll be no Niagara Falls. I don't think Mummify will be up there, and if he is, he won't lead at that sort of pace anyway.
Richard, unlike what you thought last time, you said that Maccabi Diva is racing a lot keener and a lot closer to the speed. Under
what pace do you think she was going in that, given they've smashed the track record, Alfie?
Hey, hence my comment about Elvstrom being far too handy to the leaders. Richard, you've got to start understanding speed and pace.
Oh, right, mate. Can I just update please. I tipped the winner, you didn't.
All right, I'll update on...
Your BMW is just going to come down to when we see the field, it'll all be tempo related.
Exactly. And there won't be much of it.
When was the last game last week, claiming the Australian Cup?
She's a wonderful mare. What a champion.
Next, she takes on Sydney champ Grand Army in an interstate showdown to decide Australia's best stayer.
The ratings have given them 100 each. Hugs down in the red on course, but she has just drifted out to black and white figure. Rodney Quinn. Other winners in recent years, well, there was that wonderful finish, Freemason Northerly back in 2003, and a theory.
5 Hugs Dancer, a Ling County Tyrone, 3/4 Vouvray, 2 Maccabi Diva, would have to be 12 lengths from the lead, and then comes another warrior, Sulamore Manoa King, and about 2 lengths to Martoum as they race to the corner, 500 out, and D. Beasley giving Grand Army a bit more rain. It's 2 lengths clear on Outback Prince. Cheval de Troyes given up the ghost. Followed over on the inside, Vouvray, and Boss pulls Maccabi Diva to the outside. She's 8 lengths from Grand Army. Down past the 300, Grand Army's in full flight. He's 2 Outback Prince, another 2 lengths Maccabi Diva. She's making up valuable ground. Grand Army in front. Here's the mighty mare, Maccabi Diva. She put paid to Grand Army, and Maccabi Diva's racing away. She's a champion. She tops the 9 million in prize money. Maccabi Diva beat Grand Army. Then Vouvray, the 300. Grand Army's in full flight. He's 2 Outback Prince, another 2 lengths Maccabi Diva. She's making up valuable ground. Grand Army in front. Here's the mighty mare, Maccabi Diva. She put paid to Grand Army, and Maccabi Diva's racing away. She's a champion. She tops the 9 million in prize money. Maccabi Diva beat Grand Army. Then Vouvray, Outback Prince, Martoum, Foddermore, and another warrior. And what more can one say? A champion with a capital C. Top the 9 million in prize money, 29 starts, 11 wins, 3 seconds, 3/3.
And that is a race that we'll be talking about for some years to come. She is brilliant, and she's
superlative at the 700 metre mark. And I thought, well, Grand Army is going to probably hang on and win. And then just the last 200 metres, she absolutely surged to the line. And in the end, she was soft.
The sex going, she ranks up there with the very greatest that we've ever seen now.
Oh, she has to. I mean, there's no disputing she's the horse of the year. And there's no disputing that she's probably... Well, she's right up there with those, you know, Galilee and those horses, I think.
And she...
Greatest racehorse I've seen.
Ronnie?
She's an absolute champion, Chris. The crowd's really reacted to her. She's an invader from Melbourne, but they've really taken her to heart. She's going to do Australia proud overseas, I'd suggest, in that...
Of the Australian turf, when the Diva, the greatest mare of my time, and I have to now question whether she's the greatest I've seen, when I just love the likes of Tulloch and also Kingston Town, to see what she did yesterday in the BMW. Good morning.
One day, and look, a magic moment, Maccabi Diva. One of those things that sticks in your mind forever. The crowd reacted. I haven't heard Rosehill erupt like that after a race since Octagonal, when he won the photo, beating Arcady. She really captures everyone's attention. She's a champion.
Yeah. And I want you to listen closely.
Tell you what, I thought she was vulnerable yesterday. I think it's a formality she goes to Sydney next week and wins the BMW. I thought it was simply awesome. Yeah, we'll wait and see about that. Nevertheless...
Very well done. But there was speed.
Hello, this has to be a but.
You can't. You're going to have to, you know, hand the victory to Alf there.
Oh, obviously.
Yes.
I've got it 100% right.
Yes, I've had to defend Alf all week as well because of his because he victimised me on the show last week. But you know, he's having his moment in the sun now.
No, it's nice to get it in the sun sometimes. But look, I genuinely believed what I said last week. And Road again from a good gate. Chance?
Yeah, his win was good the other day. He was slow out. Had one right on him and one on him, but...
Rightio, Matt, and we'll see them called in here shortly. It's been a good move. And the boot eventually drives up along the fence to retain the rails and the... Then Shadowways third last on the rails up towards the home turn, and behind it is Congruous in company with Sipovic. It's the boot leading by 2 lengths coming around the home turn. Quarterman off the bit in second placing. Okavango Delta's under pressure third. Back behind those horses Paternity, and then Court of Light, Lord Benbarra to the outside. Benicio in the clear, but the boot has a big lead at the 250, out by 3 lengths now. Here's I Command coming right down the outside. Shadowways has made ground against the fence, but the boot at the 100-metre mark has 3 lengths on them. He's looking pretty good, although Shadowways is closing. Is there much for the boot? Shadowways is coming hard and got him. Shadowways beats the boot by a neck. Third placing I Command, and then Benicio, and back behind those Congruous, and they're trailed further back Dante's Best, Sipovic.
Correct weight, Shadowways, the boot, and I Command. 581 all official there.
Yeah, the big one for the day, the Woodstock Bourbon Gawler Cup.
Big day, of course, tomorrow in Sydney, and of course at...
Master Handicap is the next race here at Randwick. Almaher, a rating special. Ike Stream, but there's plenty of hopes. Desert War, Courts in Session, Ike Stream, and also in the market, Almaher. They're all given hopes. All right, let's catch up with Guy Walter. He's got a couple of runners in the big mile.
He's John Cornell, foreman, tells me the horse is done.
It's Danny Martin, Charnwood, Green and Patessa, Courts in Session and Oscar Warrior. They race away on the Doncaster, 600 to go, 6 lengths clear of Modem. Followed over on the inside, Almaher, a length and a half, Desert War, followed by Winning Bell. And then comes Chewy Song Oots, and then this man should Extreme, Sky Cuddle, Natural Blitz, and then Danny Martin and Patessa. Homeward Bound, Courts in Session, up the rise. A length and a half on Oscar Warrior, 2.5 to Desert War, Almaher, Oots and Winning Bell. Extreme, and then Chewy Song and Sky Cuddle. Courts in Session still in front. 200 to go on the Doncaster, Courts in Session. A couple clear. They're starting to peg him back. Here's the stablemate Patessa and Danny Martin wide out, but Patessa hits the front. Patessa's Doncaster. From Courts in Session, Danny Martin, and on the inside, Ootson, followed by Extreme, Toulouse, Lautrec, Desert War, Sky Cuddle, Almaher, Chewy Sock.
Walter has trained the trifecta, an unbelievable training feat here this afternoon. Patessa has got the money.
And they started open up, but it was just, I had a lot of luck in the race, but geez, it was a very impressive effort.
Were you aware that Guy had actually trained the trifecta on the way back? Did you all swap nuts?
It sat outside him and just hammered along with him in the lead and forced Courts in Session to go harder than he would have gone normally, I expect. But I felt sorry for him. I think he's a super horse. Courts in Session, deserves to have won a Doncaster. Nothing against Patessa, good horse in good form at the moment, but he's no Courts in Session. And Danny Martin, I made that the training performance of the autumn, though.
Yeah.
Of all the great training performances, Gay had.
Australian Oaks for the fillies, and jockeys are up. They're about to head out. Hollow Bullets is the tote favourite at 3.10. Last start, Lateria led that day. Hollow Bullets sat off her and claimed her in.
Now followed then by Me Lindazelle. Then Don't Tell Clang over on the inside. Next is Cincinnati Gal. Gee, that's Top's Command Decision. And a good margin to Danex and My Tusker. They're bunching up now. Along to the 600 marker, Lotteria, a half length on Nevis. A length as she's just a tad, making a line of 3. Ponty Piccolo. Hollow Bullet being ridden desperately by Boss. Then Cincinnati Gal, Clevedon, Me Linen, but I'm serious. Lotteria first for home on the Oaks. About a length and 2.5. Second, Posse is Nevis. Third, She's Just a Tad. Cincinnati Gal, followed by Ponty Piccolo. To the 200, Lotteria under the whip, the leader. She's Just a Tad on the outside. Cincinnati Gal, followed then by Hollow Bullet, grinding away. Ponty Piccolo's dropped off, but She's Just a Tad races to the front. On the outside, coming home late is G, that's top. She's Just a Tad in front. Look at Dazelle. Dazelle will blow it all the way. Dazelle got it. Freakish run over the last 100. Dazelle has beaten She's Just a Tad on the outside. Cincinnati Gal, followed then by Hollow Bullet, grinding away. Ponty Piccolo's dropped off, but She's Just a Tad races to the front. On the outside, coming home late is G, that's top. She's Just a Tad in front. Look at Dazelle. Dazelle will blow it all the way. Dazelle got it. Freakish run over the last 100. Dazelle has beaten She's Just a Tad, and G, that's tops from Hollow Bullet in company with Pish. Over the concluding stages with Dazelle finishing like a whirlwind, and she's taken the AJC Australian Oaks. Number 4.
I don't think I've ever seen a horse finish that fast over 2,400.
No, the further she goes, the better she'll be, you know. I mean, that was always been a forward.
Beat She's Just a Tad. I think Larry Cassidy thought he might have had it, but all of a sudden, Dazelle just appeared. And
I think the most extraordinary performance over the Autumn Carnival.
This was the performance of the whole carnival. I don't care what anyone says. She just picked herself off the canvas here. I know they weren't going quick to the...
Couldn't win there, could it?
It could not.
It could not possibly win there. It was a magnificent performance. Best of the 3-year-olds this spring. I've still got Makybe Diva's defeat Grand Army as the performance of the autumn.
We forget quick, don't we?
Yeah, but this was magnificent. This filly's going places. It's going to win a decent race. Of all the fillies...
It's the Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Weight for Age over 2,000 metres. Grand Army aiming to become the first horse since Tulloch back in the 60s to win the race in back-to-back years. It's been a while. Now let's check out the ratings for the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and the top Sababil are the only two at single figure odds, and both are unders there on the TAB at the moment.
They go, and Grand Army is bridging the gap on St Reems, and quickly the favourite hits the front. And as they commence the run around the home corner, it's Grand Army a length and a half. Delzao to second. Ike's Dream has worked up into third position, followed by Mummify, and then Vouvray closer to the inside, but Grand Army goes down to the 250 and booted away here. Grand Army put 2.5. Delzao, Ike's Dream, Mummify, Vouvray, but it's Grand Army in full flight, 120 to go. He's going to make it back-to-back successes here in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Second Posse Delzao, but a wonderful horse. Grand Army wins again from Delzao, and then came Mummify, Vouvray, followed home by Toulouse. Number 1, ridden by Just How Good Makybe Diva is.
Good man, good politician.
Yesterday, saying that Grand Army is the best horse she has ever trained. With good reason, I would assume too. $5 million in prize money, 13 wins, 13 places from 30 starts.
The canvas after such a hard run in the BMW. He's just an iron horse, a champ, and he'll do us proud in Hong Kong.
Take anything away from this horse in front. He's one of the big 3 in Australia at the moment. We've got 3 great weight for age stars in Australia at the moment, and that's Elvstrom, Makybe Diva and Grand Army. I'd love to see them all in the one race, 2,000 metres somewhere.
The big one of the day, the Mount Franklin WATC Derby.
A bit better in the run, and I don't think you have a problem.
Mastered the first WA 3-year-old to win the Victoria Derby in 150 years of racing. Hitting empty for Zinder. He put up the flag coming to the 400. Zinder about to be swamped by Master Minx, and here comes Plastered now with his run. Here's the big fellow cutting loose, and Plastered stormed to the front, 300 to go. Race 2 in front, the filly gets to second, Royal Drive, followed by King's Carnival, Master Minx, and then Metaldale. He's got the whip on Plastered inside the 150. He's a mile in front of them though. 6 lengths Royal Drive, followed by Master Minx, King's Carnival, but he racks up the Victoria WA Derby double with a brilliant win. Plastered by 6 Royal Drive, the Oaks filly second. On the fence, Master Minx might have got third. Has waltzed away with the Derby, the shortest priced favourite in the race's history.
Or not, I can't remember the previous. Lead was on. This horse comes into his own. He's a real stayer. He's got a Melbourne Cup look about him, hasn't he? I doubt whether he's got that weight for age sprint and dash, but geez, in the 2-mile handicap in the spring, he's right in the race.
And the favourite is Smart Chariot, number 8 at $3.90, but it's quite a big field and a little bit there. Forest Jim. He's 8 years old. He's third up after a spell today, and it always takes a few runs to tune him up.
And then comes Forest Jim, being closely followed by Latin Lover. Cognizance got back worse than midfield on the inside, and then Wishart, Midnight Avenue, followed by Catechism, Scenic Wells and Classic Carla. They're on the bend, 500 to go. Western Brace, he's a length over Smart Chariot, Viscay Star. Enablers going up deep, Mythological improving in the middle, followed by Canadian Time, Forest Jim, and further back is Wishart in the straight. Western Brace at the 400, Viscay Star getting out on the inside of Smart Chariot. Here's Mythological coming at them, and Midnight Avenue is absolutely scorching grass down the outside. Western Brace tackled by Midnight Avenue, Mythological and Forest Jim. It's Midnight Avenue on the outside. Forest Jim is bursting through. Forest Jim has grabbed the lead close to home. Forest Jim beat Midnight Avenue. I'm not sure about third. Western Brace, Mythological, Cognizant, Scenic Wells and Classic Carla, they're all in line. Behind number 3, what price hit Tony Patillo? $40.90, thank you, and $9.90.
Race, but Pretorius is going to run favourite out to 2,500 metres.
Bred but Hong Kong raced horse Silent Witness lines up for his 17th consecutive win. Never beaten, the 5-year-old has become the idol of racing mad Hong Kong.
Silent Witness, $1.10, New South Wales and Super Tab, $1.20 on...
Roars a Silent Witness, swings in front, Figures is off the bridle, Tiber chases hard, Scintillation trying hard from the Duke, My Choice, Meridian Star, next Tanafi on Planet Ruler, Gem of India, Electronic Unicorn with the old legs, the big heart comes from last, tries to wind up and does, Silent Witness sitting on it, Electronic Unicorn from the pack closing, Tanafi on Scintillation further back, but Silent Witness, I'll never see anything like this again in my life. 17 straight, stand cheer, applaud the best because he's just got better. Silent Witness by 1.5 to Tanafi on, Planet Roller, Electronic Unicorn, Meridian Star. 1400, not a problem, straight to the front, rolled at a good speed and he just went further away. Unbelievable. When is this going to end? Silent Witness, the best sprinter that there could possibly have ever been. And I can't believe that I can use those words and they fit. Can you believe this? 17 straight. He's run 121.8.
Was an absolute freak. This horse has only won at Sha Tin, but he's a super sprinter, there's no doubt about that. And I want to see him race somewhere else so that he can claim the title of world champion. But until he races somewhere else, I can't give it to him.
If a horse in Australia come out and won 17 straight in this manner, would you call him a champion?
I'd call him a champion. I call this horse a champion, but they want him called the world champion. He hasn't raced in the world. He's only raced at Sha Tin.
The American Stakes at Group 3 level in Adelaide, and the ratings firstly, 5 General Baton and 11 Run.
Yeah, from barrier 4 he should be able to either lead or sit up on the pace very easily.
Out maybe McLaren, Teos Pleasure mustering along the rails with Bomber, Bill, Grace and Power, Chablais, Yvonne, and 4 lengths away last of all is King's Arch at the 5, General Baton, Strike Line, 3 out maybe McLaren, then there's another line of 4 right behind these leaders, including Teos Pleasure with it on the outside, G.I. Jane sweating on a run, then came on the outside of those trying to run on Danabar, ahead of it went Super Elegant from Bomber Bill, and Danbird heads the others at the 250, and on the inside General Baton the leader, on the outside coming out at Strike Line, here's Bomber Bill, Chablais down the outside from maybe McLaren, it's still General Baton, old Bomber Bill's digging deep, he's coming quickly, Bomber Bill, he'll do it again at Morfordville, Bomber Bill, what a marvel, he won by a half length, General Baton, I think G.I. Jane might have grabbed third from Grace and Power, Chablais and Yvonne ran on. Super Elegant as he went on by that runner.
Okay, Hild, an old marvel Bomber Bill, the 9-year-old. The bay gelding by Air de France out of Lady Special, the Alzeo mare, Robert Olsen there from Doomben. Now, correct weight after the...
It's hard to say he's a champion, but I reckon he's a champion anyway, because he's rising 10 and he's still doing it.
Words cannot describe this horse. He's an absolute freak. I think he gets belted over there with the whip in the straight as well, and he just attacks the line, the old fella.
He should have won on Anzac Day, shouldn't he? Because, you know, age shall not weary him, nor the years condemn.
The covers were taken off a boom racehorse by the name of Bentley Biscuit, a 3-year-old by Pont Celeb, trained by Gay Waterhouse, and he was most impressive. Here's what he did. Here is Bentley Biscuit, his first start. He's heading to Queensland, possibly for a race like the Queensland Derby. Back in a moment.
Then John Silver further back in the field, Sir Gates, but Bentley Biscuit, hands and heels, has raced away at the 200 metres. It's put up about 6 lengths. Sir Gates down the outside, running on, followed by John Silver. They said it was good, and they were right. Bentley Biscuit will bolt in by 8 lengths, thanks very much. Sir Gates second, John Silver third.
And his judgment's proved correct here, because he looks a real serious racehorse. Look, the figures are there. Yeah, look.
He's got a great action.
You don't see any, forget about the opposition. This horse has broke a course record at his first start in a race, and it's an old course record. It's over 10 years old. Yeah.
It's pricked his ears on the line too.
Gay will probably take him to Queensland.
Andy Vale, Kylie Kwong, Overclock and Wanderer, 6, 1, 4 and 7. Alf Matthews, some very nice fillies in this Group 1.
Very good races, stood the test of time for many years now since it...
It's being hard ridden. Moet Magic followed by Kylie Kwong sticking to the inside. Then a length and a half, 2 away was Royal Drive, scrubbed up. The rest are a long way back. At the corner, 350 metres left to go in the Schweppes Oaks. Overclock out by 3 lengths. Candy Vale giving chase. Here's Vega on the outside with a run, and Kylie Kwong, she saved a lot of ground. She's come through on the inside. Overclock grabbed by Kylie Kwong. Down the outside, Irish Darling's charging home. Irish Darling from near the rear over the top. Spread eagles them. Irish Darling took the Schweppes Oaks, a length and a half. Kylie Kwong, a length away third was Vega, then Overclock for...
Weight is there on the Schweppes Oaks. Now, our interview for the Saburna.
You've got number 2, Desert Flight at 17, 3, Forest Gym at 12, down to 5, Scenic Wells at $6.20. Last win at Eagle Farm.
Yes, he's always a good type of horse, and yes, he's got the in.
And they're off in the 3 deep. The next Origin Hero on the rail. Then Forest Gym. Sunday Service wide from Bales. And then Shady Brady, Scenic Wells, Telly Series, Classic Carla, Midnight Avenue and Walter Mitty. In the straight to the 400. Natural Woman the leader. Celtic Trials going to try and get up on the fence. Followed then by Desert Flight, Chinbok. Sunday Service next from Origin Hero. And Shady Brady down the outside. Natural Woman the leader. Celtic Trial couldn't get the run on the fence. He's still persevering out wide. Sunday Service. Natural Woman led Celtic Trial, Sunday Service, Forest Gym, Classic Carla storming home. Forest Gym and Classic Carla grabbed the lead, and Classic Carla's beaten Forest Gym and Sunday Service from Natural Woman. The next home Origin Hero, Scenic Wells, Telly Series, Celtic Trial, and then Chinbok. The next home in the race came
up in weight, but I would suppose down in class. Is that a fair...
It's 1 Race the Ace and 3 Magic Quest, 2, 4, 1 and 3. 4th of M, and Race the Ace the 1 at $9.60 for Matty Carl.
Race the Ace second last and in sent out the tail. Zetavane with about 500 to go. Leads out a half a length now in Gold Cruise. Ferrari third on the outside of Mecca Tuna. Then came Dangerous Illusion, Runaway Bishop. Magic Quest on the fence out wide then. Race the Ace and then lost his view. In the straight and Zetavane took over now from Gold Cruise. Mecca Tuna is taking advantage of the cutaway. Race the Ace has come from near second last with a good run. And then came Dangerous Illusion. Zetavane in front. Dangerous Illusion is bursting through in the centre. Race the Ace the outside. Race the Ace, Zetavane. They come to the line. Race the Ace in a photo. Over Zetavane, close for third. Maybe Mecca Tuna just in front of Dangerous Illusion. Then came Gold Cruise Magic. Came good effort here by the top weight. You'll find it'll get there in a close finish. Race the Ace, ridden by last couple of strides. Number 1, Race the Ace, ridden by Matthew Carl, is the winner. 1, 2...
And 10 cents. And Stall all...
Through Saturday night's run in OK fashion, seemed bright. While overseas, Star over in England, so he's looking forward to that with high expectations. The merger and is now back to favourite. The merger number 12. Farlane.
Sister Kareem doing it tough. Still there over on the inside was Saturday Fever, followed by Pantani. Here's Intriguing taking off around the outside. Hugs dances up about 4th as they come around the turn, followed by Envoy starting a run. It's coming home well. Tears under the whip, then came Graduated near the inside. Far Lane around the corner. 400 metres to go in the Adelaide Cup. Saturday Fever off the inside. Then into Carpo. On the outside, Demerger got out. He's coming quickly, Demerger. Far lane beaten off now by Demerger. Down the outside, Envoy, it's Demerger. At the 200 metres, a length and a half, 2 in front. He's going away, Demerger. It's all Demerger and Blake Shin. He's careering away to win the Adelaide Cup. Demerger sprints hard the last bit, won by 7. Second, Envoy, a length and a half away. Third was Intriguing, a big run. Fourth, A Photo.
Prepared. That's right. We set her for the Adelaide Cup this preparation, and she raced a little dowly earlier in her preparation as we were training her a little different.
A lot of people are saying, oh yeah, it might have beaten them easy, but it actually ran very, very quick time too, and Danny O'Brien is seriously considering a Melbourne Cup.
Good luck to him.
Race over 2,020 metres, and runners are on the track and heading off to the start. The favourite on track is Zingham, number 3, trained by Guy Wallab, but it's been well supported here at Doomben. Chinbock. Jackman's big.
Down the straight the first time, and Natural and Penitentiary. Gee, Zingham will have to do some work. He's back second last on the fence and last Jeremiah. They're on the top corner, 800 outside of Forest Jim. 3 to Rara Relenza. The grey Classic Carla midfield on the fence, then Sunday Service. Volante Etoile on a high. Further back on the field then came Lachlan River. Zingham is still fourth last, coming to the turn from Penitentiary, and Jackman a last Jeremiah. On the corner, 400 to go. Natural Woman first around the corner, about ahead in front of Chinbock. 2 Desert Flight, Folksini, Classic Carla, Sunday Service on a high. Lachlan River is next. Natural Woman leads, 300 to go. Length and a half to Chinbot. Then Volksini, Classic Carla getting up on the fences, starting to rattle. Natural Woman and Chinbot with Classic Carla. Look at Zingham. Zingham's come from nowhere. Zingham's grabbed Classic Carla close to the line. Oh, that's a big win. Zingham over Classic Carla. Chinbock third in front of Natural Woman, fourth from Volante Etoile. The next time was Penitentiary.
Worth.
On a natural.
This is the top rater. Zingham, County Tyrone and Fiery Venture, 6, 9, 1 and 5. Half an hour until the O'Shea Stakes, and Pacific Dancers, he's there at 8.70. But as we move them up, we'll find Zingham. And Zingham will be well in the market, I would imagine. $4.20, but he's not. This is the O'Shea at Group 2, Wait for Age. Here's Alan as they get.
Has gone too early inside the 600. Fiery Venture and Platinum Scissors from Zarbeat. Regal Punch. Natural Blitz pulled out from County Tyrone. Raw Instinct gets to the outside from Pacific Dancer, and Zingham's trying to come through the field. Fiery Venture leads Platinum Scissor to the 300. Regal Punch, here's Natural Blitz sprinting quickly. Zamanity and Pacific Dancer from County Tyrone, but Natural Blitz hit the lead. Zamanity on the outside, about to run it a second, but Natural Blitz raced away from Zamanity close to home, and Natural Blitz bolts in from Zamanity. Regal Punch is third, Photo fourth, Platinum Scissors or Pacific Dancer. Then County Tyrone, which didn't have much luck. Zingham got home okay at the finish. It was a fair Brisbane Cup trial.
Last Natural Blitz over Zumanity and Regal Punch. That was a late pickup for Bob Alyssa, if you want.
Al, were you surprised at the price?
Well, you know, punters and tipsters are just dumb. Here's a horse that pays $17 to win. He's the only weight for age winner in the field. He'd won the Feehan Stakes and he'd won the Hill Stakes. He'd had one run at a mile and a half in his life behind Clang-a-Lang and the Derby and the Bog in Sydney. He ran third in the Doomben Cup at 2,200 metres and he had to travel wide. And then he pays $17, and we're all running around looking for something to beat him, and he's the only weight for age winner in the whole field. We are just dumb.
I tell you what he is too. He's an amazing horse. This. I've never seen a horse that is so much better on a dry track than this horse is. You spit on the track and he's completely hopeless, and there aren't too many like that.
And Doug Harrison said, about time that Richard Friedman comes on and apologises. This horse is a bit more than what you've been. Well, mate,
well, I said he's a Group 2 horse, so what is he?
Well, he's won 5 Group 2s now.
So what does that make him?
No, I haven't finished. He's won 5 Group 2s, and he's a bit more than just a
He's a Group 2 horse, Andrew. That's what he wins.
He's never really had a chance in a Group 1, let's put it that way.
What'd you say?
There always is in a Stradbroke.
Yes, there'll be plenty of pace. There's never a Stradbroke run that isn't run at breakneck speed, and it's going to come like those horses.
Yeah, exactly right. Some wide barriers were certainly dished out.
Going for Ballet Society. There's not a better looking horse. 10 and 17. In that, I'm going for Ballet Society.
By With My Our Sweet Moss St Basil. Then Conchula, Sedecrum, Our Egyptian Wayne wide, followed by Perfect Promise, Winning Bell, Wager Sky, Cuddle, Showbiz Kid and Pateza. 700 metres to go. Hidden Dragon a half to Dance Hero. Racing third, Enthusiast on the inside, a Takeover Target. Yell fifth on the inside, a Ballet Society in a great spot. 2 lengths away in the field, Proudly Agro, Shamika with Our Sweet Moss, St Basil, Sadekram, Our Egyptian Rain, and Patessa's on the fence. In the straight, Hidden Dragon at the 400 a half to Dance Hero. Then Enthusiast, Takeover Target with Yell getting into the clear. Here's Ballet Society, Shamika, and here's St Basil coming from the tail. Dance Hero led at the 200 metres mark. Takeover Target, Proudly Agro, Shamika, and St Basil's down the outside. St Basil's raced to Dance Hero, Proudly Agro. St Basil's taken the lead from a wall of horses, and St Basil won the Stradbroke. From Perfect Promise, I think, second. Patessa's close up in that photo as well. Shamika, Ballet Society, and Proudly Agro finally had the day that he deserves. He's had his day.
Basil, what a wonderful old horse.
Yes, he is. He's one of these horses. Well, here's Natural Blitz. Numbers are 1, 8, 5 and 12. Natural Blitz, very hard to go past him after his good win in the O'Shea Stakes the other day.
7 is Forest Jim, Barry Miller and Tony Patillo combined, all conquering Tony Patillo.
All conquering is right, yeah. He's one of those horses, but he'll either put in or he won't.
Kojima for the running of the 4X Gold Ipswich Cup. Karina on the outside of Forest Jim and Dowry last of all. The Ipswich Cup run at a cracking pace down the back. One of the grand, a long way back on the field. Forest Jim followed by Sailor's Lark and Annie Karina as last of all. At the 700, Fiery Venture, a half Kojima on the outside, 2.5 to Skylove. They're closely followed then by Desert Flight on the fence, and now Natural Blitz is called upon for his run. Volksini's trying to go with him from Dowry, Classic Colour, and Motivate's making ground, and so is Forest Jim. They pack up on the corner. Fiery Venture at the 300, just in front of Skylove. Natural Blitz coming out the Volksini, Desert Flight, Motivate, and here's Forest Jim and Classic Colour. Fiery Venture tackled by Skylove, but here's Forest Jim and Motivate. Natural Blitz can't go home. Forest Jim and Motivate take the lead from Classic Colour, but it's Forest Jim in front. He's getting away from Motivate, and Forest Jim wins. Motivate second, Classic Colour third, Volksini fourth. Natural Blitz is next, then Skylove, followed by Desert Flight.
Yeah, well, he's more consistent. This preparation is the best he's ever been, but he hasn't had much luck in his races.
What's he going to do with
it? Time 2:11.53, and Forest Jim over Motivate, and Classic Carla getting third.
I think the true Forest Jim stands up when there's a stack of pace on, because he is well known for having an electric finish, the horse.
Yeah, he started off in Victoria for Lloyd Williams.
Yeah. He won a race at Moonee Valley one day, and they all had him as a Cox Plate horse.
He looked like a superstar, but he's a thinker.
I think we've all done
a race on the pro. Race the Ace, the 100 Raider at Hawkesbury, a special. She runners at the start. Let's get the late mail now from Ron Dufficy.
Race 7 here, Hawkesbury. The numbers are 2, 1, 5 and 6. And Race the Ace, well, if Stirred attacks Chevergo here, a horse like Race the Ace, even with 60 kilos, it's set up for a horse.
Tino, a similar gap then to Pensive Warfare. Race the Ace along the rail, a couple away. He's Latin. Raymond 3 deep at the tail of the field with Spanish Beggar. Past the 600 metres for Cliff Lyot, Chevergo the pilot, leading by a neck to Leewoods, a length and a half away. Stirred out 3 deep on the track from Piambong Road. In between horses is Spinning Con. Further back Martino, then Race the Ace, the inside up towards the home corner, and further back in the field then is Raymond out deeper. Leewoods, Chevergo share the front around the home corner. Has Chevergo got a kick? Leewoods moves up strongly. Spinning Con down the outside, joining in. Race the Ace needs a run with Piambong Road. Spinning Con moves up on the outside of Leewoods. Race the Ace has bustled through, and he's Latin late down the outside at the 50. Race the Ace takes the lead. The old boy with 60 gets up. Race the Ace 3/4. He's Latin who rattled home, then Spinning Con. Further back in the field, Raymond late. It's in a photo for fourth. Also there was Chevergo and Piambong Road. And then
The winner was Race the Ace over He's Latin.
Leewoods. Race the Ace has bustled through, and he's Latin late down the outside at the 50. Race the Ace takes the lead. The old boy with 60 gets up. Race the Ace 3/4. He's Latin who rattled home, then Spinning Con. Further back in the field, Raymond late. It's in a photo for fourth. Also there was Chevergo and Piambong Road. And then
The winner was Race the Ace over He's Latin.